I'm Robert Williams.
And of course, we're sitting in for Mutabaruka inside the Stepping Razor.
Yeah, the Stepping Razor. Kishima wonder if it is because Mutabaruka has become a policeman. Is he sick?
I don't know, but you know, Muta, what we have to say to you, just kindly ensure that you're here for work next Wednesday, or else we may just get an injunction.
Because everybody's calling in sick now, so I know.
It's a norm, isn't it?
I'm just wondering if Muta has become a policeman, so he has called in sick, hence us being here today. But nevertheless, we're looking forward to
the show must
an exciting
go on.
show.
Indeed. So we have interesting things happening, and you know, one of the biggest stories happening now is FIFA, which is basically right up your alley.
The biggest thing happening in the world,
yes,
is the corruption scandal in football. And of course, we're right at the front because Papa Jack is sitting in the high seat. But you know, before we even get into anything, you know, Kishima,
you want to sound off?
I want to say something. You see, since this FIFA thing broke, a lot of people in Jamaica have been talking tongue-in-cheek with regards to Jamaica's involvement
in it.
Jamaica's imminent involvement. Jamaica must be involved. It can't be that Jamaica is not involved. And you know, to a large extent, when people are saying Jamaica must be involved, there's no doubt about it. They're talking about Captain Bird.
Of course. What do you think, though?
But yes, personally, I am saying it might sound a way still. So Captain is not involved. But you see, if Captain was to be involved in this, Captain name would have called already. Captain Clean.
But look at it.
Captain Clean.
But hold on, Echo.
Hold on. Me say, if Captain was to be involved in this, remember, you know, in 2011, I can't even wait to tell you. In 2011, you know, Captain Burrell and Jack Warner, you know, so the two of them are bench and
close, right?
You know the word. And Jeff Webb and Captain, same thing, tight. When Jack Warner went down in 2011, everybody else said, well, Captain next. Captain was reprimanded by FIFA. He get 3 months. But he got 3 months because he did not cooperate with the investigators at that time. And that Captain get 3 months final. Now, if Captain and Jack is so close and Captain and Jeff is so close, when we look at all these monies wired here, wired there, all over the place, Captain must have to get some of the money.
But don't you think that you could be speaking prematurely? I mean, I listened to you, but listen to this now, Echo. You said that Captain has not been named, right? No, Sepp Blatter. Has he been named? No. But at the same time, he resigned from a prestigious position despite not being listed as a part of the FIFA corruption.
No, he is being investigated by the FBI now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but investigated, yes.
Right, but could you also tell me who is conspirator number 23 in the indictment?
Not sure yet. That don't work out, that one yet. But let me say,
it could be pointing
let me say, Kishima, why I'm saying what I'm saying is because at the level of Captain's association with these persons who are head cook and bottle washer, so to speak, in what has happened, he would have must get named already.
Not necessarily.
So if he's going to be named after this, it must be as a small fry.
But even though you said that Blatter is being investigated, you know, he had resigned before whatever came to the fore. So I wouldn't want to put my neck on the block for anybody.
I am not putting my neck on the block.
Especially since Jack Warner had said that he's threatening to spill his guts, which means that there is another FIFA bombshell coming.
Jack did say that in 2011, so there was a tsunami.
But this time it's different.
But
reputation tarnished to the floor, flattened.
I am saying, Kishima, that if Captain Burrell was to be involved in this, it would have to have been at the highest level. If Captain name call after this is a subsidiary, it's not significant.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying? Remember, Jeff Webb just became prominent in FIFA. And Jeff Webb, one of the allegations is a $3 million pool and bill and house and all them kind of stuff there. If Captain and him a tight piece, so if Captain was involved, Captain name would have called already.
Well, let us see. Interesting times ahead. Hashtag madness.
But what this FIFA dilemma has shown, though, is that not only FIFA officials look set to go down, but governments too.
Yes.
Because Jack said an avalanche is coming. All doing this a tsunami coming. We don't see the tsunami.
Don't you think that even though he has said, Jack Warner had said so many things in the past, that this time it's actually different in terms of how FIFA is looking in terms of the information and things that are coming to the fore?
Well, I kind of impatient sometimes with Jack because he said so much things. Last week after he came out of jail and he had a meeting the same night, him say him take off the gloves. Kamla, him going after Kamla. And I know we don't. The only thing I've seen since that is a $1 million check to the UNC that was paid to one of his companies.
Could it be he has a lot of information, but he's been threatened not to delve too deep? Could that be a situation why he's still being tight-lipped regardless of what he has? Because, I mean, if he's so integral in the whole thing and he says that Avalanche and him have all these information to bring forward, clearly to me, looking at the situation, and this is just an outsider looking in, there has to be some information that he has, but then there is somebody saying to him, listen, if you do X or Y, then these are the consequences. Because ever so often people have information and know things and want to say it, but due to circumstances, they're unable to bring certain things to the table.
Well, as it is right now in Kishima, Jack Corner dark, him have nothing to protect him.
Then that is why I am happy you said that.
That's why I have no need to hold back anything.
That is why this time it is different for Jack. So if he says that it is going to be an avalanche, expect massive and crazy.
He made an address last night on TV in Trinidad, so we're going to play that later on so that our listeners can hear what he had to say as far as that is concerned. But FIFA is the biggest news throughout the world.
Another thing that is happening, not quite as big as FIFA, but we're all affected nonetheless, is that, the Jamaican cable companies and the Broadcasting Commission, they're at odds because, the commission says the cable companies have been found to be showing 98 channels without authorization. And background to all of that, we hear that 49 local cable companies have been found to be in breach of the copyright overseas content owners.
Yes.
Now, when we look at the situation, why did it take the commission so long to put its foot down? And was it really the Broadcasting Commission? Exactly. It wasn't their initiative in the first place. It was actually NBC in the United States that first raised the concerns about issues and issued a press release basically saying that, listen, Jamaican cable companies should cease and desist. So clearly the Broadcasting Commission was sleeping, but here is a matter I want to wake them up on, right? A part of the Commission's role is also to balance the interests of consumers. And currently, many of us consumers, including yourself, Robert, we are already terribly inconvenienced despite paying a cable service month after month, right? Now, on the flip side, if you should owe, your services undoubtedly will be disconnected.
Surely.
Now, how should we proceed? Should we perhaps contact the Fair Trading Commission?
So the Broadcasting Commission should be protecting us too?
They should be. Yeah. So I am giving them a nudge, since it was NBC who had to nudge them initially that cable companies are doing that. It's not a Facebook nudge. It's a big wake up.
Yeah, juke them with the elbow. So what is it you want them to do?
Well, we want them to have the consumer's interest. As it is now, they are clamping down on the cable companies regarding the copyright breach, the service that they're providing. Now, we have new information coming out where cable providers are increasing. There's an increase relating to the charges. So this increase actually come at a ridiculous time. When you are already paying for a package, paying for a service that you're not getting.
And of course, we're going to be asking our listeners to later on calling and share your views with us.
Oh, absolutely.
16 minutes after 2, Stepping Razor. Onto a break.
Look on, a shooting star. Quick, make a wish.
I wish that my dream could come true. I wish to go to the most magical place. Courtesy of Woo.
You can make dreams come true at Western Union. Use your MyWoo card on a qualifying money transfer from May 11th to June 30th to be entered for a chance to win a trip.
Here on IRFM, Robert Williams and Kishima Francis sitting in for Mutabaruka. Kishima.
Now, we were actually talking about some hot topics. So before we went to the break, we look at FIFA, we look at the Jamaica cable companies versus the Broadcasting Commission. And I see you have an interesting piece there, Robert. Go ahead.
Yes, an article, I think is a lead story in the Gleaner this morning.
Smiling ear to ear on this one.
Polygamy, solution to Jamaica's family crisis. Seriously? Could that solve the family crisis?
No, it can't. As it is, you have one family, one husband, one wife in a situation, and that is hard to maintain.
But polygamy indicates that one man would have more than one wife.
Exactly, and if you can hardly maintain one.
No, but it is not the question of maintaining it, is having it. So if you want to solve the family crisis that we have in Jamaica, say a man who have four women, and he makes them 4 wives.
Do you have to say that and grin?
He would have his family with him. It must be easier to have your 4 wives where you are than to have one woman in St. Anne's Bay, one in Ochi, one in Kingston, and each of them have a child. What I'm saying, Shane? So if you have...
Shane would see it. I don't see it any at all.
Yeah, but
I don't see it, Echo.
That would be an ideal family setup, because it would get rid of the gal in a bungle culture. It would get rid of the man if you have more than one girl.
Would it?
No, because you would have 4 or 5 wives, and that would now lead to the real Africanization.
You're drawing me out, you know. Listen.
What we're talking about, solving Jamaica's family crisis.
I honestly, I don't think it would solve the family crisis. I think what we need to do is deal with the situation from the root, and in dealing with it from the root is we have to grow our boys and girls differently. You understand? A lot of us are coming from broken homes, single family culture, and then you are looking up to a man who has that gal in a bungle mentality, who is sometimes your dad. So if we grow our child from the get-go, from the initial stages, and sort of instill certain values and discipline and teach them certain morals and how to respect women, we don't need to one man, 4, 5, 6 wives.
We are saying this. We are saying the same thing, Kishima, except that you are saying that one man would have 1 wife and his children. But if the one man has 4 wives and his children, and they're all a part of one family living under one dwelling, is the same situation. It doesn't change.
I don't see that as a
maybe because you're a selfish woman.
Well, perhaps, and I will not dispute in that regard. But come on, like seriously, I think we have come a long way. Where
if you really stretch it, Kishima, the situation that I am describing would be a nuclear family,
Yes.
Yes.
In some sense.
No, not in some sense. In the true sense of the word, because a nuclear family is mother, father, and children. So that is exactly what you're
having. Mothers and father.
Mothers, father, children. So it would be a nuclear family, and because it is difficult for a man to have 2 and 3 families.
Yeah.
Deployed. Economically,
if it is difficult, then you just wrap up what needs to be wrapped.
No, but it is not a case of just wrapping up. It's a case of having your family one place.
We get that.
But remember, it would be legitimate, because as the article was saying, that you wouldn't have like marriage certificate, something like you'd have some other kind of certificate, but it would certify that you are married to this woman and you are married to that woman and you are married to that woman. I
still don't think that that is the solution in our Jamaica.
You're too selfish.
That's not the solution.
It's that we're not cultured that way, so Jamaican women would have a serious problem with that. And similarly,
Jamaican men too, because I mean,
if would abuse it. No. He would still have a woman out the road, not true?
It's likely. You understand? I don't foresee that solving any problems at all, and it would not eliminate the man in a bungle culture. To me, if anything, it would actually just put a stamp on it.
It would prevent so many children being grown up in one parent home, because that is a major problem in Jamaica.
But what you're saying to your daughters, though, Echo, that you're gonna be sharing your husband with 3, 5, 6 other women.
Yeah, but it would be in a clean way. It wouldn't be in a...
Explain clean.
Because it would be sanctioned and accepted. It's not a case where the man is hiding to go around this one, him hiding to go around. It would be all clean.
Well, the only thing I can probably say I'm happy for, usually it's easier to bend a tree when it's in shrub stages.
It would be a difficult ask in a Jamaican society.
It wouldn't work, point blank.
It would mean that we'd have to unlearn so many things that we have learned. But if you take the same Jamaican woman and take her down to Africa, she would probably learn it faster because it is accepted there.
But not even a look. I'm sure you have another subject matter there we can get into, but we are going to open the phone lines and give you an opportunity to also interact inside the Step-In Razor to share your views. But in the meantime, of course, Shane Clark is going to give you some music. I'm Kishima Francis.
And I'm Robert Williams.
We're sitting in for Mutabaruka, of course, who is off to Finland for a poetry festival.
Oh, so is that is...
No sick out. But, it was so clever, I had to just play along.
So he's gone to Finland.
He's off. No, another big thing in the news, everybody's talking about... Jodie Stewart Henriquez, Sean Paul's wife, Jinx.
Yes.
And it is pretty topical. And give us a background as to what she said initially, and then I can just get people up to speed with her
I know
apology.
somebody had posted about the bikers in the area, and she responded that the blame should be placed squarely on Bolt and his brother. And she was saying that between the bikes, the loud, horrid music, parties and screams, I honestly wish he would go back to where he came from. He's a horrible neighbor. I cannot wait to move. And she also said that so unfair and disrespectful. I've honestly lost all respect for him. He takes his nasty behavior with him everywhere. So many people love him, and he is such a poor example of how to behave. I honestly can't blame the set of UPT Uptown, that is, that have him as a puppy show in parties or on their boat. He's the ultimate party clown. All right, but a lot of people has criticized Jinx, it is, for the comment about going back to where
he came from.
My criticism is there too, because first we must say that if you don't want to be living where you're not comfortable and people are disturbing you with all kind of things, because sometimes
it can be
we have to be compatible, and we have to respect our neighbors and do things to cause our neighbors not to be because when you come home, you want to come home and you want to be able to
rest and
relax and have peace of mind. But where Jinx and I part completely, like most people, is the part about going back to where he came. But I have a different view about going back to where he came from, because a lot of people think she's saying that him should go back down a Trelawney, down a Sherwood Content, down a country, but that is not what I think she's saying. I am believing that, I am interpreting what she's saying is that we know that Bolt is from humble backgrounds, and Bolt is at a stage now where if him pass out by, make we say now, ATL, and see at 15 series Benz out there,
you can buy it.
Well, I love that Benz. I'm going to buy it and buy it. Prior to that, Bolt would probably see a little Corolla and say, boy, I wish I could have bought a Corolla like that. And him have to go, and him can't buy it. So I am thinking that she's saying that going back to where he's coming from is going back to the humble beginnings. Not so nicely though, Go back to your poorness, man. Because you're rich now, but so she had to, you must go back to poor. And that is where I part come. Me not love that at all.
But that is even worse. And the bit that you even make mention of with, talking about the uptown, downtown, it's classist.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Since she has made that comment, this is her apology, and I'm quoting her squarely here. After so much needed introspection, I would like to publicly apologize for the comments made about Usain Bolt. Not only were they unwarranted, but also highly inappropriate, and for this I am truly sorry. My intention was never to degrade or disrespect anyone, but without realizing I did. I allowed pent-up frustration to get the better of me and did not conduct myself in a respectful manner. I apologize to those persons who I hurt, including friends, family, my husband, and the Jamaican people at large, and especially Usain Bolt. Although I am and have been frustrated by the disturbances, I should have dealt with this in a private and more civil manner. My intentions are to speak with Usain, discuss the regrettable incident, and personally apologize.
Then that you should have done first?
Well-written apology.
But you see, I have a little thing with apologies, Kishima.
The fact that it took almost a week, I have a serious problem with it.
Let me tell you my problem with apologies. Me write the apology, and then me know something I can tell you about all of the parts that will make you up. And me just write the apology, and then me just go lay wait out of your gate, and then me tell you and describe you all kind of ways when me want to describe you. And then when me come now, me just when people pressure come down for me, me say me fi apologize. So me just go take it up and carry go give you. Me apologize, but me really did tell you what me want to tell you.
And I mean, sometimes you will say things to somebody, and after reflecting, perhaps after a day,
that is
you
true.
can't be sorry. But the fact that you're gonna take almost a week to reflect,
Kishiba,
it is clearly
I agree with
pressure.
you. I agree with you.
That is interesting.
But
let that soak.
But
for the first.
But as I said, a lot of times, you know, some man really wants to say certain things to somebody. Him there at the party, man, and him just go on like him a drink up some holy liquor. It's when him tell you what he want to tell you, and then him apologize. He say, because me that drink, man. Him did really want to tell you that.
True.
Yeah. But him not have the balls to tell you face to face what him want to tell you. So him just pretend like say, I know him attack.
And try to patch it.
Yeah, but it is so unfortunate. And then when you look back at this situation now, you know, so many persons who are neighbors were saying so many things because they're saying that this kind of thing happens was happening before
since 2008 and beyond.
And somebody saying that Bolt is hardly even there. So you know, but
and then it's just unfortunate. It looked really bad on her when you have persons coming out to say, "Listen, I am actually Usain Bolt's neighbor. I live beside him directly while she lives, you know, in the back." So when things like that actually came out, I think she didn't have much of a choice.
I wonder which one of the music them she called the nasty one now. In the way playing a Sean Paul.
Gotcha.
You know what playing a Sean Paul.
It's likely. No other things in the news. What do you think, Echo, about still no tickets yet for ganja possession offense?
It simply means that if I am caught with
over 2 ounces.
Me can't get no trouble.
And you know what?
Because me can't get no ticket.
First of all, they did the entire situation hurriedly, and yes, we had anticipated and expect that there are going to be drawbacks and little glitches here and there. But the fact that they don't have a ticketing service in place for the police to even issue a ticket.
Because the ticket is for you to go to court and pay how much? $500?
Or to the tax office.
Right. But if you don't give me a ticket, how you going to send me go pay any money?
But you know what?
But just make me go on.
How I look at it, not having a ticket in place may be a good thing. It could be the universe way of saying legalize it.
I'll just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
But the fact that there is no ticket to be had if you're caught with, you know, what you should not have, it simply means that there's no way that they can adjudicate on it.
Yeah, man, listen to the universe. The ancestors are tell we a thing, man. You don't have the ticket in place, you don't have it in place. Go with the flow. Legalize it. Big up, Tosh.
As I talk about the ticketing thing with the ganja, what is the latest with what is the guy name that was killed in Montego Bay while he was in the custody of the state?
Mario Dean. Well, there was a preliminary inquiry involving the 3 police officers charged in connection, of course, with Mario Dean's death, and that was actually postponed in the Montego Bay Resident Magistrates Court yesterday. So,
dead case, that, you know?
It is. I mean,
no, Mario Dean is dead.
And condolences to the family.
But the case looked like it dead too.
Because this has been going on for a while.
I remember the outcry when that happened. Where you say the wheels of justice turns so slowly that maybe even if somebody is sent to prison, by the time that happened, nobody remember about that again.
That's true. But you know what we have to do as a people, even internationally you see it. A lot of persons will go on, will protest, will march, will do this and do that, but what happens after the march?
Yeah, because you're not.
What happens after the protest?
You're not going to sustain it until, you know. So it becomes a 9-day wonder. But when did it happen? It happened quite a while now.
It was in 2014.
Right, and we're almost halfway into 2015 now. In fact, we are basically halfway.
But the fact that we're here using this platform to speak about it. We're still keeping it in the news, and I think all of us should not allow this to just go on deaf ears, but do our part and do what we can.
All right. Another topic that is up in the air at the moment is the protest action taken by public sector workers. Government said they can't afford more than 5%. Teachers want more. Police actually up to 200%. Teachers, nurses, even the politicians, them too, you know, because their wages are frozen too, you know. You never know that. Because they fall under the public sector workers.
Well,
So them can't get no increase. Them can't get 5% too. But a lot of people say, boy, they don't deserve none. But I don't agree with that.
Why?
I mean, if you're working, you should be paid. And if you deserve more, then you deserve more. But
I mean, look at FIFA, right? With the whole scandal. They're working, they're getting paid.
They're getting paid, and some of them getting too much.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe if there was a situation like this where they were to get a 5% increase, they would lobby to say it's too little.
It's too little, that's true.
When their entire hands are in the cookie jar.
Yeah, but I don't...
Not the entire FIFA, but those who have been accused.
I don't think people just want an increase for increase sake. People want an increase because times are hard, things are expensive, and if you're earning the same salary this year like you were earning last year and the year before, obviously inflation would have eaten away any extra resources that you can find. So you need something. But on the flip side, government is saying that they can't afford any more than 5%. So where is the break going to come?
I don't know. And how are we passing these tests?
Well, scraping
through
the IMF test. I mean, that is a whole different ball game, and it is a part of the whole scenario why the government is saying that they're not able to offer more than 5% over the 2 years of increase. But it is always going to be better if government cannot afford to increase your salary more than 5% than for people to lose their jobs. So I guess somewhere along that.
Yes, the Poetry Festival. Muta is always traveling extensively, and he goes into some places that the ordinary entertainer does not normally get the opportunity to go into. So we have to say big up to Mutabaruka, who continue to keep our Jamaican culture alive. Yeah,
and as we are on the topic of what has happened with FIFA and the South Africa Kishima, the first time I saw Muta overseas was in 2003 when the Reggae Boys were in Cape Town to play against the South Africa team. When the hotel in the morning is Mutabaruka, I say, come in. It's so weird. Baruka, what are you doing here, man?
No, exactly.
Barefoot and all.
and even the way he speaks, I mean, him just keep it Jamaican. No addition of any no twang, nothing at all. Just keeping it authentic.
Yeah.
And we must also say big up to the people on social media, for our listeners in Radio Land. And for those of you who are on the text line, if you want to participate, the number is 390-9863, and you can hashtag Stepping Razor.
So repeat the number,
390-9863. So that is the number for the text line. So feel free to participate. We're going to open the telephone lines a little later on. Now, we were talking about the sick out briefly.
Yes.
And just the background to it, of course, the police are still on sick out in protest of improved wages and working conditions. And despite an injunction that was acquired by Attorney General Patrick Atkinson, and the cops are basically being forced to go back to work and could have their assets seized, we're understanding, if they disobey the Supreme Court order.
So we have decided to get some legal advice, so to speak.
No, absolutely.
So we have called none other than
Attorney at Law Bert Samuels, who will be joining us online shortly. And some of the questions that we want to ask Bert Samuels. Mr. Samuels, are you online?
Good to be with you and your listeners.
Good to have you, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us.
The Attorney General has sought and gotten an injunction forcing the cops to go back to work. But what we are understanding is that they are not enthused about doing that.
Nor are they complying.
What are the consequences?
Well, remember, the order is an order of the court. And anyone that fails to obey an order of the court is in contempt of the court. And therefore, you run the risk of being imprisoned for disobeying the court's order. However, there's a process for the court to firstly get evidence that you have disobeyed, the reason for your disobedience, and then it makes the decision whether it was deliberate. And if it was deliberate, then you are going to be in problem.
No, is there ever a time when it's okay for persons in the essential services to withdraw their service under the labor laws?
Well, you really can't. However, what has happened, that the officers say that they are sick, and therefore they can rely on the holiday with pay regulations, which allows a person to submit a medical certificate if their illness goes beyond 2 days.
But isn't it the officers are not saying that they're protesting? They're not saying that. They are sick. But isn't it a little disingenuous to say that you are sick when you really are protesting?
Well, you have said that they have said they're not. We are assuming that they are protesting, but they are individually saying they are sick.
They are sick.
And you know, in any given day, police officers become ill. It's not unusual. But we are concluding, and others may conclude, that this widespread illness is not chikungunya related. So it must be
some other bug.
I don't want to say too much because the matter is before the courts. I don't want to prejudge it.
Mr. Samuels, though, could you tell us, or can the court hold the doctors accountable for, say, conspiring with the police, considering so many are ill, without saying too much?
But be careful now, because you see, you and I go to the doctor, and sometimes what is wrong with us, we are the ones that tell the doctor. The doctor has a severe pain in my back, and I can't sit up and write, and I need some rest, I think. And the doctor says, okay, let me examine you. You may say, where are you feeling pain? And you tell him, and it can be very subjective. It's not easy to rope in the doctor. That doctor is being dishonest.
So what happens when the federation tell the members of the JCF that if you are sick, don't come to work, because if you come to work while you are sick, there's a penalty?
Well, wouldn't you have told your workers that too? There's nothing wrong in that statement in itself. If you're sick, don't come to work. I can't hold anyone. But if you said if you're not sick, still don't come to work, that's when you're in trouble. But having said that, it's a very tricky situation, because health is something that we don't have control over, and the statistics will show that X amount of officers on a given day are ill. What has happened is that there's widespread illness. That's what we're discussing. How does one prove that? Do doctors get in trouble with this? The person comes and says, I'm having a severe headache. A doctor cannot tell you that you have or you don't have a headache. So,
exactly.
You may just get that.
Even though we have seen instances where, like, employers would get rid of an employee because during your time of illness, you're seen outside of perhaps a sick sort of state.
You remember that famous photograph of a certain person who didn't
exactly. Exactly.
Mr. Samuels, what happens if the doctors, you mentioned confiscation of their assets, what is the process that leads to that if they don't comply with the injunction?
Well, all right. An injunction is an order of the court, as I said. If you disobey the court's order, you can be imprisoned. The confiscation of assets is not something that that's not my opinion.
Okay.
That you are personal. Your liberty can be taken from you because you're in contempt of court. So, for example, if I go to court and the judge says, have a seat, Mr. Samuels, I'm through hearing you, and I disobey that order, it's just like an injunction. The judge can say, take him away and take him downstairs. He disobeyed me. Therefore, there are penalties which have to do with your liberty.
So the IDT doesn't figure into this aspect of the law there then?
Well, you see, sometimes what happens is that the matter is referred. The minister can say, I'm referring you. Listen, I think I'm going to take your matter seriously. I'm going to give you redress in the tribunal. So an order is very often made by the minister. The matter should go to the Industrial Disputes Tribunal because there's a deadlock in the negotiation. But that is a separate situation than the court.
Okay.
The tribunal is separate and apart from the court. The Attorney General represents the government, says, listen, the LRIDA says you're an essential service. Then some affidavits are filed that it's widespread, and they go before a judge without inviting the police, without inviting their union. They go what we call ex parte, and they get this injunction. And it's easy to get that injunction because you cannot strike, as it were, if you're an essential service. So the judge would have little or no hesitation in saying, they are on strike? Yes. Are they an essential service? Yes. Therefore, I'm ordering them back. They should not have gone on strike in the first place. What we get is a question of fact, whether they are in fact sick or they are not sick. I don't want to go into that realm.
Whoa. So in other words then, the officers hardly have legs to stand on in this situation.
Well, look at them individually. Each individual cop is going to say to us, I have a medical certifying that I was sick and therefore I can't be forced to work.
Okay.
That's essential service or not. If you're sick, the law protects you that you can stay home with a medical certificate. And as I said, that's a holidays with pay order of 1973.
Oh, so they don't stand to lose any earnings then if they're sick?
If they are sick.
Okay. Well, it is.
You've rightly said the doctors, Anthony, I've told you all the doctors will get out of it.
Yes. So, interesting development. So,
it is.
We will see what happens from here. Because they have a few days.
I must tell you, the courts with its own backlog has been suffering because the cases are not able to go on. Both civil and criminal cases are not going on. Didn't go on yesterday, a lot of them, because no one is there to man the court, not just criminal cases.
And not only the court proceedings, but you have citizens in certain areas that, in terms of traffic, that needs constant attention.
We had a client whose father died, and the police was not there to come and look at the body, and remained in our house for a day and a half.
Jeez.
A lot of things come stand still when this happens. Shows you how much we need the police.
Definitely.
And for a service that is so important, we have to also ensure that these service providers are taken care of. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nurses or teachers and or police officers, etc.
Let us.
About the nurses.
No, absolutely. I did call them first.
Let us see.
Broadcasters.
They're not considered essential services. And for the most part, they're not public sector workers.
Of course.
And for some aspect, the increases are not 5%, but 500. I'm not speaking for me now, though, Mr. Samuels.
Okay.
For a second there, I was just wondering. I'm like, oh, wow.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Samuels. We see what happens from this one.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. So Attorney at Law Bert Samuels there.
Interesting, huh?
Yes. So many services affected by the illness
of our police officers.
Members of the
And I think it's about time, Robert, that we actually, call a spade and look at the situation, because, like I mentioned previously, we have to take care of our service providers, like people who are in a situation like that. If they're to be, just compensate them properly.
I have absolutely no doubt that governments would want to compensate, for example, members of the police force. As
government
properly.
Would want to?
I would want to think so.
Okay.
But because they mismanage the funds that is available, sometimes it mitigates them against them being able to pay the requisite salaries that people should enjoy, and then there, as a result of them mismanaging the affairs of state, we have to
suffer.
We have to go to an IMF where the conditionalities are as harsh as they are, and further mitigates against being able to pay public sector workers, and also have to ask public sector workers to hold on to the wage freeze. 5 years going. So many years now, but if government is not able to pay more than 5%, what happens?
What happens?
And that's where we were when we went to the break for news and sports. And I'm saying that one option, based on what government members are saying, is cutting the public sector, and it would mean that some 15,000 people would be going home.
And that in itself is not even a fix.
Yeah, but you see,
because cutting
governments generally don't like to lay off people because of political reasons. For the most part, they don't want to lay off people, and that is why our public sector is as big as it is. Because we all know that a whole heap of people not really necessary. Some of them just did it because of the politics. From from one administration to the next. So them just enjoy the thing because but they're not really necessary. But because of the politics, governments are usually hesitant in cutting staff. I think like they do in some other countries where they have this kind of situation. And the people get cut.
But I would say cut from the top.
But you see, it is not usually the top.
Exactly.
That them have the excess baggage, you know.
But if you look closely, like one of the points that you just mentioned, that usually there are a lot of people who are unnecessary that are
like
there.
Like in the parliament.
Right.
And the cabinet first.
And other areas.
Yeah.
So cut from the top.
Yeah, but if you cut from the top, it is not much. But well, they can. It would be much because maybe that one salary can probably give the officers and other workers. No, so that can't do not much to the officers. Not a thing.
Bring up them 5% to 6.
No, they can't bring it up to 6.
Sure, it's likely.
You see, and I remember we're not talking about like a one-off payment. You know, we're talking about
continuous,
a continuous payment. So it is difficult on the part of government, but it is difficult on the part of the public sector worker who has been holding strain for so many years and need a little touch up now.
Of course, and making ends meet with little or nothing. Because so it's about time we deal with. We have to look away from politics. Like, not everything is political, but how do you say that to a politician? I think we want to open the phone lines and get our listeners to interact with this particular subject. Robert, what are your views on the police strike due to low wage increase? The low wage increase,
the 5% increase being offered by government. Do you think that deserve more? Do you think the government can find ways and means of providing the public sector with more than 5%? And if so, tell us how.
And also, do you think they should just return to work and cut it out?
And continue the negotiations. Because if the negotiations don't continue, then there's not going to be any solution. So they have to go back to the table with government and work on it. All right? We also have our text line up.
390-9863, and the numbers to call are 974-5051, 974-5043, or 974-5079. So the lines are now open. We're taking your telephone calls right here inside the Stepping Razor. Robert Williams, Kishima Francis sitting in from Mutabaruka.
At 13 minutes after 3 o'clock. Okay, so we're ready to take your calls.
All right, step in.
Yeah.
Good evening, welcome. Good afternoon.
Come on, may I step in?
Step in.
But there that you say, if Gatlin even come whiter than thinner, people are the one not gonna believe him.
Nobody not gonna rate him. Him not get no respect. Him not get no love, man. Even if him run 9.02.
They don't bias out of Jamaican, you know.
But I no bias. You see him getting the love all the fast times him running?
Because today Gatlin run 9.755.
But what I am saying, Carla, is that regardless of how far, look, you remember last year when he was named among the pool for the IWF Athlete of the Year award. You remember? He was in that shortlist.
Yeah.
And you remember what happened? There was a German athlete who was also shortlisted. What did he do? He pulled out him, saying, "I'm not going on a podium with Gatlin."
Yeah?
Yes.
I never remember that.
Yeah, man. And then when they cut the list to 3 now, the IWF cut him from the list. And you know you're not about it again. Thanks for the call, though.
Look here. Yeah, that he broke Usain Bolt record today.
That was the meet record.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what time he did, but I'm going to check it. But if he broke a record today, it's not the world record.
Oh.
It's a meet record.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for the
for
call.
calling.
Yeah, man. Cool. They are looking at the program.
All right,
Yeah, man,
step
bless.
in. We
All
continue
right,
to
so
step
we're
in.
taking your calls inside the Stepping Razor. We see the text line blowing up. So some persons are saying, I think they can give the police a 10% increase. And then, you know, there are many out there who did not due to the complexities, but no want to do so and are scared of the consequences.
What was that?
All right, I'm not sure. They didn't say exactly what that was in relation to.
10%. That is like double what the government is offering.
What is that? Is that unreasonable though?
Well, I don't know because I don't have the figures.
You are such a step in.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, we're hearing you.
Yes, Kashima Robert.
Bless up.
Afternoon.
Yeah. The government find money to do everything, you know. You see them essential service,
Yeah.
find money to pay the people them.
Okay.
Until that happens, you won't get no good medical service, you won't get no good police service. Then now stop that bread. It's out on a FIFA thing same way. So what, you know? Pay the people them, man. Listen, make an effort. I understand to them say if them do that, it's going to deal the IMF thing.
Yes.
But you should think about essential services before.
Exactly, agreed.
Included in it.
Yeah, but look at it this way, Carla. The essential services include like the police, the people who deal with the water and so on.
The police,
what if
the medical?
Would you agree for them to increase the police by 15% and the teachers by 5%?
No.
Right, because all of them are public sector workers.
Let me tell you something.
And all their jobs are important.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. If there was no wage freeze, if you check back history, if there was no wage freeze, they'd have gotten a lot more than 50% up to this 5 years.
Yeah, but
now is an insult.
But what they used to do, they used to borrow money for pay some of these bills, and that not sustainable. So that's why I have a cut.
But it is an important sector.
Very important.
I'm talking about the essential services.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm saying, borrowing the PMR, we just cannot do without them.
No.
And you run upon them and pay a road and spend $2.5 million for Obama come here. And I'm saying, these people are very much essential to us.
Okay.
Exactly.
Not that I do agree with every action of the police and the medical people. But we have a generalized and it is very important that they be secured. Not fully secured. I don't also give them 100%. But not necessarily 30% must be accepted. Across the board.
But you still have to look at the other side, the ability to pay.
Well, sir, we're looking at it. And they have excluded them for 5 years. They have excluded them for 5 years.
No, it's not that they have excluded them. That is what they agreed to.
But technically they have excluded them in terms of money paying out to them. No, you cannot. 5% is not even an option.
Exactly. And you know what, caller, you're making, I am in agreement with the caller to an extent, because at the same time, if we understand that our healthcare, the police officers and our education, like these are important sectors, then why can't we put the necessary steps in place?
That's not be done. Let me move on. I saw when Gatlin was kicked out of Beijing the other day. Gatlin, this is all about it. Gatlin said, what do you think? I'm going to turn up and because if I'm ill, I can't run, I'm going to take their money. He wrote this. I'm not a man to cheat people.
Are you talking about a man who has served 2 drug bans?
You get me? I have to say, go figure. Is really that? And let me tell you this.
In his defense, I think he was talking about the patrons and not the other athletes.
Well, let me tell you, I'm talking about him. He should never out. I'm talking about him. He should never utter the word cheat.
Yeah, him not for use that word there.
That's to come out of your vocab totally.
No, him not for use that word there.
And I'll just say, listen to me. If he won 9 second flat tomorrow, nobody will recognize him.
That's what I'm saying. That's my view.
He's not a good sportsman.
All right, caller, you're driving, you're breaking up a bit, but thank you so much for calling. Thank you for weighing in. Absolutely. So we're inside the stepping razor, sitting in for Mutabaruka. We're taking your calls. And the question we ask, what are your views on the police strike due to low wage increase?
And you can also share with us on what we discussed earlier about
we discussed
polygamy, solving Jamaica's family crisis.
Echo, like seriously, I can't believe you went back there and then have the audacity to talk about that is a nuclear family. That's a nuclear bomb.
Well, in the true sense of what a nuclear family is, mother, father, children, it works out to be that.
We have somebody on the text line saying straight up, them not care about nobody but themselves. Them can do better. Come on, man. So we have another call here. Stepping.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yes, sir. I agree that they should get a little more. Yeah. Yeah, because I have been on the road turn over the night, So we over the night when I see the police, them, Yeah, so I think they deserve a little more than the 5%.
Yes.
Yes, and also the teachers,
Yes.
And the nurses.
I wonder when I leave out the teachers.
And the nurses, yeah.
And the nurses. I mean, all the government workers, because they have to work way out in the night, sometimes.
Yeah, but we still want to balance it now, Carla, by saying what is government able to pay?
I don't know.
I think, I would say balance with around 10%.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you work with 10?
Yeah, I would work with the 10,
Okay.
15 would be okay, but being able to see how the crisis and the economic crisis, so we'll have to balance it with 10 and go back to work and, because they are their family just like anybody else.
Yes, and inflation increase, everything gone up.
Everything gone up, So, you have to give them 10%.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for sharing. So we're taking your calls inside the stepping razor on, basically all the issues that we've raised earlier. To give you a rundown, polygamy, solution to Jamaica's family crisis, one of the information coming out, and of course, Robert, I don't know for some reason is backing this. I'm sure you perhaps have persons out there who are in agreement or disagreeing. I have absolutely no doubt that there are persons who would be in agreement with me for different reasons. Exactly.
Not necessarily the same reason that I have, but let us hear your view.
Right. So, stepping. Good evening, caller.
Hello. Turn off your radio.
You're gonna have to listen to your phone.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah. Go ahead now.
Afternoon.
Yeah. I would like to know if Jamaican people is not essential to Jamaica.
Very much so.
Yeah. So when Obama come and spend how much money to do that little road there? Why them spend the money they know that Jamaica, the nurses and the doctors and the teachers need money?
But that money don't go to the nurses and the doctors and the teachers anyway. That money don't go to them anyway.
How do you know? Spend 6 road and all kind of something.
That wouldn't go to them. You think that? But in fact, if you take that money and put it to their salary, it probably is not much. Remember, we're not talking about a one-off payment.
But I understand what the caller is saying because
I know that is not a one-off payment. But if them did use that money, Obama never did want to come and see no pretty road now.
No, but
if he never come and see a pretty road, he would have given some money to fix up the place.
We don't have no guarantee about that. But one thing I know. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Clarendon.
Okay, so you know use that road,
Which road?
The one where them fix up.
I couldn't tell when I go in a town.
But the people who live in that area use it,
But let me tell you something.
You don't think them use it?
Them road in a town where them fix it, them need one touch up, but we have some road that you can't Spanish town, I tell you, because I live in Spanish town, I'm working in Clarendon. There's some road in there over 50 years now, them do them the spin and them do not more to it.
Are they A1 roads?
What do you mean by A1 road?
When I say A1 road, I mean you have different scales of road. So the A1 road would be the major road. And then you have other roads below that. So that road you're talking about is a major road?
No, it's not.
Anytime road are fixed, the major road fixed first, man.
I made the road fixed first?
Yeah, man, that's why sometimes we have some road in our little communities and so on.
There is them road that were them fixed about 20 times. I said, road we do for 30 years now.
I agree with you. That is true. That is true.
Administration don't respect Jamaican people. If the Queen come here tomorrow morning and you go drive come down Clarin and I bet you some road you're down the fifth.
You know why I don't agree.
It's not just this administration, is all of them.
But it's all of them. But this one get me upset right now.
But you know why I don't agree with you?
Right.
You know why I don't agree with it to an extent, Carla?
Yeah.
The road that you're talking about is Jamaicans using it now.
Jamaican are using it?
Yes. So, in other words, it fixed for Jamaicans.
No, it never fixed for we. Echo.
No.
Initially,
Obama no carry no night when going.
Echo. Robert, listen. And this is why this is what I find irritating. Initially, they should have. If you want to fix a piece of road so Jamaicans can benefit, go ahead and fix it. Don't fix it because X is coming in.
No, but.
No, come on, Echo. Yes, man.
No, man, but you usually fix up a place when you go visit a man. Not true?
No. You fix up a place every day.
And sometimes you do a little extra when you are a visitor.
Caller, thank you so much. The lines are blowing up and we really want to give everybody an opportunity. Plus, we also have a commercial break. The text line is blowing up. We have somebody here saying, oh, geez, this is skipping like crazy.
What's happened to the negotiation?
What happened, right? I mean, a lot of things are happening.
For security guards. Security guards are private sector workers.
And then this one is saying, the civil servants need to understand that increasing their salary will come from taxpayers who have smaller wages or no job at all.
Yeah, like
they are selfish and so.
That is a key point,
It is absolutely a key point.
Yes.
They are demanding more, but where will that more come from? My pocket? Your pocket?
But at the same time, Kishima, if it comes from us and it is not managed properly, it still won't reach to them. You see the point I'm making? It still won't reach them. So it has to be managed and used properly.
You know what? We're going to go for a break. Inside the Stepping Razor, don't go anywhere. Kishima Francis.
And I'm Robert Williams. Step in.
Yes, we are taking your telephone calls. We talked about several topical issues, and one of the things that we spoke of was the polygamy, the solution to Jamaica's family crisis. We have emails coming in and text messages from people on the internet and through our text line 3909863. This person is saying that they agree with the solution that I suggested regarding the polygamy being Jamaica's family crisis. Bend the tree from it is young, because of course I am not in agreement, but Robert is in agreement with that.
No, I was just saying that the kind of values that we want to put to family can also be done if a man has 4 wives, not if him have 4 girls. One east,
so you're saying the fact that they are wives, it makes the situation acceptable and different.
No, not that it makes the situation acceptable, but if we are going to be in agreement with the polygamy concept, then it would mean that it is so, and we would live accordingly, because a man would have. We're using 4 for the time being, 4 wives. But the 4 wives live at the same dwelling. Everybody is living as one family. It is a significant difference from a man who have a woman in Sentence Bay, one in OJ, one in Exchange, and so on. It's a totally different thing.
How significant is that?
Because what you have that time are mothers, single mothers, and no.
And you're telling me you're okay with that?
No, I am saying that if it is that kind of situation, then it is fine.
It is not fine. You know what? Call us and tell us, what do you think? Polygamy, is that the solution to Jamaica's family crisis?
No, not the solution. It could be a solution. Yeah? Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you calling us from?
Portmore.
All right, great to have you.
This is Aramuma. Robert, I'm not agreeing with you.
Exactly.
What is it that you're not agreeing with me about?
I would not allow my daughter to live with her husband with 3 other wives.
But that time, it's not you going to make the decision for your daughter that time. Eh?
No, not me who do it neither for myself.
Exactly.
Right. But that doesn't mean if your daughter goes to live in Africa, you think she probably wouldn't indulge in that?
No.
But nothing is wrong with that.
But Echo, why are you using Africa?
Because I know polygamy
because you know that Africa,
yeah,
have more than one wife. That's why I keep on saying. Also from the program start to Africa, I keep on saying.
No, yeah.
But that is the example I know.
I'm really trying my best, not to give him one, I'm holding the chair.
I remember when I was in Ghana, and there was this gentleman that was with us most of the days. He had something like 6 wives. So we were asking him questions about. I'm saying it's a normal thing because that's their culture.
It's not normal for we Jamaicans.
It's not normal for Jamaican woman. Jamaican woman do selfish.
But even
before I go, I'm gonna big up Shane Clark, please. That's the one of the main reasons I call for.
Okay.
I always love him selection when he get the chance to come select on the air. Big up Shane Clark.
All right, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, when you send your text messages, just put a name to it so that we can say who it is. All right, this person is saying that if a man can maintain 2 or more wives, I think it should be implemented, just like the Old Testament days.
And here is somebody saying straight up, me as a man don't agree with that. That's jumping out of fire and jump in the frying pan.
Why not with Jamaican women?
No, but not only Jamaican women, but just think of the situation. Can you just imagine the emotional and psychological impact that it will have on women in such a situation? And
Kishima,
to me, it is kind of
Kishima, this is something, you see?
It's kind of backward for me. Like
this is something that if we are going to move in that direction as a society, is not something that could just happen.
I'm not saying
it would have to be structured and in an organized way. We couldn't just decide tomorrow that we're going to move to polygamy. It would be chaos, because first of all, we will have to have the mentality to deal with that first, and that is only going to happen if we integrate the society that we and it becomes a learned thing, because we're not there, nowhere there culturally.
And we shouldn't get there. Let's take this one. Boss Stepping. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm coming from Portmore.
All right, Portmore.
Yeah, what I'm saying about the police, okay? Yeah, I think the police will get more pay than that, you see? Because more time, me dey on the road some hours a night and some corner when me some police,
Yes, man.
I saw them
working. Yeah, true.
So, me wish them do, and know them can do better.
Okay.
Because, me I listen to news, just for the about the Tivoli thing. I hear them say, that is just like, it was considered 441 million. Start it like, just pick up on for some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pick up on something there. If them even take out, they want to give the Tivoli people not even say, 10 million time. Just give them. They want to do that. But it's just because the money circle is just one way, not to them section. Them don't care about nobody else.
Okay. I hear your caller. Thanks for the input.
Yeah, man, that's I see or something. Them do better than that, man. We put them in them, man. They think about people.
All right.
No, absolutely.
All right. Another text saying the government is spending too much on unimportant things to can't pay the police what they deserve.
And here is somebody also asking. I know, Robert, you're saying, one man should be okay for one man to have 4 wives. But on the flip side, would you want to share your wife to have four other husbands?
Personally, I agree with it.
I'm not saying So no, you're flipping it.
No, I'm just looking at the concept.
No, but
I'm agreeing with the concept. But personally,
all right, let's look at the concept wider, because women, we are nurturers and we're caring, and you're talking about like having a lot of children. So what if the wife come together and get the husbands in the situation? So you have 1 wife and 4 other husbands. Is that a situation that you can perhaps tolerate?
I don't think that is something that has ever been explored.
But
in a legal way.
Could it?
But with regards to the 1 man and 10 wives or 15 wives, that has been explored. That has happened. So we know straight up how that goes.
Yeah, but because it has happened before, don't mean you cannot venture into the unknown.
No, but that wouldn't be going. Remember, this is a situation that exists. 1 man having more than 1 wife.
I'm saying 1 woman having more than 1 husband.
I don't know if that exists anywhere in a legal scenario. So there is no precedence as far as that is concerned.
Because
so I can't make any reference.
If you should probably look at it, who knows? Maybe that is a situation that could perhaps work.
Yeah, but maybe that's not something that I would wish for personally either.
I really wonder why.
But I could probably like the concept, but not necessarily like it for me. Ask Robert what he think about the league. Oh, that is what you're asking. Allow men to legally have more than one wife. No man wanna leave them kids a road. This will bring kids closer to their dads and ultimately better. But the answer to that is that have your children with one place then.
Simple. Yeah. Have your children with one woman. Let's have this one. What's your calling live? I mean, stepping.
Yes. Greetings, sir. Hello.
Caller, you're gonna have to listen to your phone and not your
radio.
Your radio.
All right, you there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Greetings.
Yeah, greetings. Carl from Clarendon.
Yeah, man.
May I say, with all them prisoners locked up there, right now, and D&D want cassava for buy so much.
And what?
D&D, the company, want cassava for buy. And I'm one of the prisoners in the government of them telling all about. If them take out the prisoner them, we go plant cassava. We sell the company, they will make a lot of money for pay the police. Plus, I drive from 1976. I remember when police alone used to run the transport system. The transport authority not necessarily more than just walking around making chaos. The police can run the transport and lock down the transport authority and use their money there to help pay the police them.
Okay.
Right? Transport authority.
You think it right, Judo, Carla?
Police alone can monitor the traffic, and sure, 100%.
So you would need a traffic authority, you're saying?
Yes, the police. They don't need the transport authority. Them just make chaos all about in the country and take a poor people vehicle. I'm sure off all about it. That sector can lock down, the police can monitor the transport.
Okay, so like you're giving the police more work now, though?
Yes, but they need money.
They need more money.
Transport authority, take out prison out of prison, plant cassava, and that's a solution. Just apply that them solution right now. And the government out that problem.
Okay.
You know, that's the truth. Look how much prisoner we have to feed, my brother.
Boy. So you're providing a solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Solution, take out the prisoner them, plant cassava, help a government land there, lock down transport authority, make police do that work, and solution that solved right away.
All right, sir.
Yes,
thanks for the call.
Police need money, man. Police work very hard, they need money. Respect.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for calling.
I could agree with the fact that police should get more money, but truth is, where they should be looking at those who pay minimum wage and not following that one.
But I think what they're trying to say is where they should look at those who are still getting minimum wages and probably up those persons. All right, we're gonna go for a break.
NCB Key Card. Whenever you use your NCB Key Card, a percentage of every dollar swiped goes towards benefiting your children's education. Sign up at jncb.com. The time by NCB Key Card is
3:42. Hi. Very much.
Texter.
I think it is Camille from St. Andrew. Thank you very much.
All right, so the text line, they're coming up, and this person is saying, I'm not in agreement with Robert. I don't want to even think that my husband have a next woman, much less to live under the same roof with 3 others.
And that is understandable because we are Jamaicans. That is not our thing.
And this is the same Camille from St. Andrew.
That's not. It wasn't Camille who said that one before. But this is what I'm saying. We are not cultured that way. Jamaicans are not cultured that way. So Jamaicans wouldn't just grab on to something like this. You'll find more men saying, yes man, bring it on. But that is just in theory for the most part.
All right. Here is the next thing to look at it, Echo. I know you're saying, 4 wives, 1 husband, right? Everybody grows his or her child differently. And even though you're thinking that in a situation like that, it will solve one problem, but you're still gonna have a conflict. Even though it's the same dad, I'm sure all those 4 mothers are going to be different and have different views and different ways in which they want to grow their child or children.
Yeah, there must be some level of compatibility and some level of compromise, because as the person who texts earlier says, it's a functional concept. It works.
It won't
necessarily work in Jamaica, necessarily work in Jamaica.
And honestly, I don't even think it. I don't think it works. I don't think it is effective. I think there are also some psychological and emotional and serious issues that these women are dealing with. You understand the way a man would just look and jump to a situation like that is because of how it is going to make them feel.
Yes, and because of our culture
and a lot of women who will probably be
what you need to do, Kishima, is you need to speak with a woman who is in that situation, who lives in that kind of situation, and that will give you.
I'm sure she's a submissive type, perhaps.
Not necessarily. I don't think every woman in Africa is submissive. Okay.
Why are you saying Africa every single time?
Because that is the example I have. All right. Okay, so we're back on the public sector
again, and new information. The Education Minister Ronald Thwaites says a settlement is near in negotiations between Jamaica Teachers Association and the Finance Ministry.
So we have the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association on the line. So we're going to find out if they're doing somersaults. Mr. Doran Dixon, good evening and welcome, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
How are you?
I'm in excellent condition.
Yes, because
sounds good.
It sounds as if the teachers are doing somersaults.
Why are we doing somersaults?
An agreement has been reached with the minister?
I don't know that an agreement
has
been reached. I have not been overthrown as president. I think I would at least have been notified.
Where are you now as far as the 5% offer is? And not just the 5%, the overall agreement.
We had a meeting yesterday. The Ministry of Finance, Shas government, put a new offer on the table, which included a movement in the basic salary percentage.
Okay.
It also included some other improvements and one or two other items of claim. We indicated yesterday that we were waiting on the official documentation. We have received the same. Where do we go? The JT operates in a very democratic fashion, and when a decision as monumental as this is going to be made, we like to involve as many of our members as possible.
Yes.
So we are now in the process of having our parish meetings, and we have 9 parish meetings left. One is in session presently at the JT's head office, and we have 9 more. 3 tomorrow at Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. 3 on the 12th at Hanover, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth, and 3 on the 19th, St. Anne, Trelawney, and St. James. So when we finish those parish consultations, we will more than likely have what we call a special conference, so that the delegates from the 14 parishes will now come together and make a determination as to the merits of the government's offer to us.
Okay, so you're saying that there's been an improvement in the basic salary. So it means that the 5% offered by government would represent more dollars now then?
If it is still 5%, then it is not more dollars. They certainly that would have moved from 5.
Right. Okay. And based on the negotiations that has started and the information that you have thus far received, you are comfortable with what was said to go and have these parish meetings?
No.
Or you don't have a choice?
No, man. The parish meetings would have been planned before. These are annual meetings. Whether we have a negotiation taking place, yes or no. It's not comfortable, but we feel responsibility to now go to our delegates.
Okay.
For them to instruct us further or otherwise.
And
there comes a point in the process when you have to say, okay, let me take this to the delegates. And we feel that we're not saying that we are accepting. We're simply saying that there is
an improved offer
sufficient on the table for us to say to the delegates, give us some direction.
And you're saying also
the same way that the minister would say to us, he has to go to cabinet.
Okay.
You know? Yes.
So, Mr. Dixon, so you're saying that this improved offer by the government, you have taken into consideration the economic recovery program, and within yourself, you're saying it is an improvement on what was there before. So when you take it to your delegates now, they will rule on it, and you get back to the government.
The Minister of Finance, yes.
Okay, so but that has to do with the 5%. What are the other
No, it's not the 5% that we're talking about, We don't separate the claim into individual items. We are saying that delegates are going to vote on the item, on the claim as a whole. Just that focus would have been on the 5% because that is the area that affects every single teacher.
Okay, because you have a 30-point. It's a 30-point plan.
It's about a 30-point claim. Yes.
So, what are some of the other claims that you have on the table in terms of what you're negotiating?
It's a whole range of things. We have some allowances. There's a book, software, and technology allowance. There are allowances for special duty. There's another allowance for
uniform?
No, there's no such thing, not uniform. Okay. You have allowances. Well, we have a facility where the government has agreed to put one trained teacher into each basic school in order to help with quality assurance, and so there are some issues with that we have put forward on the claim. So things like that. So it's a whole range. We have even put on our claim again because we care about our children. The fact that government had agreed previously to employ one teacher in either music or PE outside of the school's quota. And we have said to them, while that program has worked wonderfully, we probably now need to look again at employing another teacher to help with other areas of the education offering that would not fall into the regular quota system. So it's not all about money, But we treat it as a package.
A package.
Mr. Dixon, how do you feel though, like when you see that teachers have to put themselves in a situation or a position as such where you have to go out there and make noise to get that attention that you deserve, because
we understand it's part of the process. Government has a responsibility. We have a responsibility to our members. Each individual worker has a responsibility to himself and his family. And if you are engaged with your employer, it doesn't mean that there's any malice, but sometimes you have to give your employer a kind of
hardball.
Yeah, to say, let us see if we can resolve this, but you need to attach a little bit more urgency. And there's really no malice. We try to stay away from the malice because at the end of the day, truth be told, we are still Jamaicans. All of us have to share the same space. We all want the same thing. The government wants a country that is prosperous so that they can govern well. We want a country where we can, as they say for Vision 2030, live, work, retire, raise families in peace. And we give thanks to Jamaica because we see some other places that we wouldn't really want to live.
No.
So
I want to go back.
And also, let me just say this though, critically, it is important for us to recognize that our democratic traditions are alive and well.
Excellent.
Where people can exercise that right.
Yeah, protest and indeed they think they need to.
Bustamante and Marcus Garvey, we can exercise, we can dissent without it becoming a business of war and that kind of thing.
Tell me something, Mr. Dixon. Does the government owe teachers any money at least as we speak?
As we speak, well, they haven't paid us. They have not paid us for June yet. But I suspect that they don't owe us any retroactive payments.
Okay, because all those retroactive monies from before have now been paid.
Well, put it this way. We gave the government an opportunity to organize itself, fix its house before paying us. The monies that were due to us in 2009 was spread out over a period that was only completed, I think, last year.
Okay.
And that is what we do. We don't operate in a way that says it is all about us. We appreciate. But when it comes time for you to make when it comes time for you to demonstrate that this is really a partnership, then we would want you to demonstrate that.
Okay, because I asked that question, Mr. Dixon, because as a teacher and you are in the classroom for a number of years, I don't know how it works now, but there was what you called what is it again? You get a little touch up every year. increment.
And that is not unique to teachers. It's called an increment.
Right.
It's called an increment.
So
it is really and truly a cost of living adjustment. But again, as I said previously, the cost of living would have been literally running away on us.
Long time.
And when you get a movement of, say, 2% or so, to just help to cushion in a small way.
So the increment that you get each year is 2%?
Yeah. It's about 2.2%, give or take.
Okay, yeah. So in other words then, what the government had initially offered as 5% was really 7%.
No, it was really 5%. It's 3% in year 1, 2% in year 2.
So the 3 plus the 2% increment.
You see, no, what is true is that we have been negotiating with government for a long time. And at no other negotiation has this issue come up about the increment.
Okay.
So we do not want
to touch that.
When a man claims that him broke, he change the narrative to suit himself.
Okay.
No?
Right, excellent.
So we would want, if we're going to go down that road, let our parliamentarians tell us that they have not received
because they get that too.
Any allowances that they get over the period of time.
What is the vibe you get though, going to the parish associations now with this new offer?
Well, I haven't gone to any yet. I'm going to one now, because this new offer came to us this morning, and I will see. We'll see. The teachers are sensible. They know that we're doing our best, and we see what happens.
Well, Mr. Dixon, we want to wish you all the best, and we're happy that you actually entered into negotiations where you have seen a move from the 5.
By the way, Mr. Dixon, before you go, what was it that the teachers had asked for initially, in terms of percentage salary?
For the claim, it's 15% in year 1 and 10% in year 2.
15% in year 1, 10%.
Are you anywhere close to that with the new negotiations?
we made the point that this is a negotiating situation, and as per negotiation, you know that you put something on the table and you do the best that you can under the prevailing circumstances.
So you're now closer to double figures than you were before.
Negotiations by their nature are difficult. You know, I was saying to myself this morning that the United States is the most powerful country in the world, negotiating with some other people who one would consider not so powerful, yet still they can't seem to get an agreement after years and years and years of negotiating. So don't be too hard on us.
All right, all the best, and we wish you that that you get as close to the 15%
that you want
as
we
you
are
can.
striving for same. We're striving for same.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dixon.
Bless you.
That's the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Doran Dixon. We are up to a break. All right, let's go to the break and then we come back. Step in.
Domino's Ganja. Oh yes, we take. Purchase any medium one topping pizza for only $1,000. Must set a code GRAND to redeem at Domino's.
The time by Domino's is
4:02. Who is off in Finland?
Okay, earlier on we mentioned Kishima, the brouhaha happening in the
FIFA
world governing body for football, FIFA, and I was saying earlier that this is threatening or was threatening to take down this big organization. But it also seems as if it is looking like it is or could take down a government as well, because we know Jaquan was a member of the Trinidad and Tobago government. So last night he had an address to the nation, a paid for one on television, and he was saying some things, because he's saying that his organization at the time, FIFA, and himself personally financed Kamla Prasad's government, leading to them winning the election, the UNC winning the election in 2010. So this was what he had to say last night.
I have these circumstances decided that I will no longer keep secrets for those persons who now seek to actively destroy this country's hard-won international image, this country's faith, and the faith that the constituents posed in me. And at the age of 72 years old, I have no intention of allowing them to deprive me of my freedom. I also wish to say that I reasonably and surely fear for my life. I have, as promised, compiled a comprehensive and detailed series of documents, including checks and corroborated statements, and have placed them in different and respected hands. I said to you before, by so doing, I have in effect placed the outcome of those matters beyond even my own reach. Retracting them is not an impossibility. There can be no turning back. These documents featured my knowledge and involvement in the following matters: the link between FIFA, its funding, and me. the link between FIFA, its funding, and the United National Congress. These documents deal with Section 34 fiasco. They also deal with my knowledge of financial transactions at FIFA, including, but not limited to, its president, Mr. Sepp Blatter. And lastly, other matters involving the nation's current Prime Minister. I apologize to people of Trinidad and Tobago for not disclosing my knowledge of these matters before.
You know, he said a lot of things in there.
Yes, yes.
Remember initially when we spoke about it, and I was saying to you, you were saying that couple years ago he had promised that there is going to be a tsunami, but he said at 72 I will not let them take away my freedom. He also said that I fear for my life.
Yes.
And he will not keep secrets.
Right. So it means that he's going to let the cat out of the bag.
And that is, you asked the question, what is different now? This is what is different now.
Well, guess what? He must let it out first before I agree that he's going to let it out. But if he lets the cat out of the bag, what I see happening is connections being made with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, because basically what was happening, if what he's saying is true, is that they were using FIFA money to finance the election campaign. And the opposition leader Keith Rowley has jumped in has jumped in on it. I think there was an article in today's Trinidad Express where he was saying, if that is so, then it means that, you know, there is a link between the tainted money and the current government.
But do you believe that Trinidad and Tobago is perhaps the only Caribbean country that is involved in terms of government?
Well, so far that is what we have.
But I'm asking you, as somebody who is integrally involved in sports, if you believe now you're in the hot seat.
I don't think so. I think it is just in Trinidad. I don't think it has.
Because I know that you have read the indictment inside out.
No, I've not read it inside out. You know, it's 166 pages.
And I hear that you're at 150 something. That is pretty far.
But I've gone through it, and it is pretty clear. You know, you can.
And you're not bothered any at all by the section from that mentioned the conspirator number 23.
No. And also that when you look through and you see all the banks involved, there's no Jamaican bank involved. You have bank from Cayman Islands, bank from the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing to do with, so no money was wired into Jamaica based on what was happening, and was wired from Jamaica. So it means as far as that is concerned, you know, we're good. But I also saw read what was this before, the sealed document with regards to Chuck Blazer. You know, Chuck Blazer is a boss when it comes to the whistleblowing. It all started with him because he was being held for tax evasion, and then the whole thing. So I was reading he went to court on November 25, 2030 when he pleaded guilty to racketeering, money laundering, tax evasion and all that. So he called some names. So all that is coming out.
What do you think will happen to FIFA when this scandal, or if it will ever subside? Because based on what Jack Warner said in that clip, it seems that there are so many other things out there just that's gonna undoubtedly blow a lot of people away based on the information that he has.
Because I really don't think it is all about football.
No.
Because if I should ask myself the question, had England gotten the 2018 World Cup instead of Russia, or if the USA had gotten the 2022 World Cup instead of Qatar, would we be where we are today? I doubt it. And as a result, I'm saying that this thing is more than football. It is, by my estimation, politics to a large extent, because right now we're hearing them saying that they should take the World Cup from Russia, and we also, the issues as far as Qatar is concerned, that they want to move it from this time of the year to the next time of the year, and all this. So I get the impression that it is not just football, it is politics to a large extent, but some of the persons involved contributed to it, because like with Chuck Blazer now, look now, the man them just spend money like money was going out of style. Chuck Blazer had 2 apartments at the Trump Plaza in New York, and that's an exclusive place. One that CONCACAF was paying $18,000 a month for. One that CONCACAF was paying $6,000 a month for. The one that they pay $6,000 a month for, you know what he used that apartment for? To keep his cats.
Wow, I heard that. I was here. That's a true story.
No. You have a man travel from
$6,000.
$6,000. We're talking about
US, right, for your cats.
You have a check to lodge in the Bahamas, and you ask a man to travel from Trinidad to New York with the check, and then you send him a bank official with the check to the Bahamas to lodge it. I mean, why the man, them go overboard.
Like I said, Echo, it is really interesting, and I know that there are a lot more to uncover. I just really hope that in all of this, that our little rock, hopefully will be spared. I can't take your word for it, because
we know how to walk between the raindrops,
You are such a...
We know how to walk between the... You see, sometimes, sometimes it's more about the profile more than you being involved in anything, because if I...
Sound like you know something that we don't know.
No, I don't know. I doubt that.
I'm going to press you. What do you know?
I am saying, Kichima, that sometimes you might see a man outside there profiling and go on like, say, boy, Ray, and tay. But sometimes I spend him one money and do him thing. And it's just, but because nobody never ask him, him not go sell it, so boy, my money me I spend, But you never ask, he did come to a conclusion and say, I get it somewhere else. You see what I say?
May I hear you? I'm hearing you.
But if we had just asked, maybe we would have known that, no man, I fee money him I spend, man. Him not get no money now wired to no man. Then him not, unless it's a coming a brown paper.
I'm really waiting to hear what Jack Warner is going to say, and listening to him speak just now. At 72, I will not let them take away my freedom, and he fear for his life, and he will not keep any secrets. So we're gonna listen now to see what is to come, and we also.
And I remember there was another big one too, because prior to Sepp Blatter stepping down, because I get the impression that Sepp was pushed to an extent, and his push has something to do with the $10 million from South Africa. Because they're saying that $10 million was a bribe. And remember, FIFA had issued a statement saying that they don't know nothing about it.
But his situation is really shaky, and you cannot help but to think that he was really pushed, because why would he resign?
But he did say if they don't know nothing about this $10 million, and Jerome Varga, the general secretary, don't know nothing about it, only to see the South Africans push out, revealing this letter that was written to FIFA to say, take the $10 million from the $423 million that the local organizing committee for the World Cup 2010 was supposed to get. Take it out of that, send it to the diaspora. What do you call it? Some about diaspora legacy fund, whatever. But that legacy fund was to be implemented and administered by Jack Warner.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? That fund was to be administered and implemented by Jack Warner. So maybe
pretty interesting.
But maybe if you should ask Jack about it now, he might tell you, say yes, but we haven't implemented it as yet. So the money is still there for it to be implemented.
All right, on that note, we're going to be taking some more calls inside the Stepping Razor. All I can tell you is #madness. Interesting times ahead as it relates to FIFA.
For sure.
Interesting times ahead. No,
16 minutes after 4 o'clock.
We all still to come. We're going to be talking with Patria K. Aarons, and this is in relation to Jinx.
Because she had written an article.
An article, right?
It, yes.
In support of Jinx, of course. So we're taking your calls on any of the issues, any of the subject matters that we have raised since the beginning of Stepping Razor at 2 in the PM. So let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live. Stepping.
Hello.
Greetings.
Yeah, man. Hail.
How you doing, Kashima?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, Robert.
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, respect, man.
Bless her.
All right, to me, Robert, you sound like you're defending wicked vampire, you know.
Which one that now?
The government. Yeah.
Also.
All right. You know, say, security, healthcare, education, and the major resource of any country, which is the people, are the four cornerstones of any country, you know.
I agree with you.
And the government do not care none about those, especially the people them don't care nothing about those four sectors. Okay? All right, now, if you check the amount of advisors each one of these politicians have, right? And how much millions and billions them appeal to these advisors. Remember, say all of the politicians them were dead. Them did it before me and you born, you know.
All right, you want me respond to the part, eh?
Hold on, no. The more you do a thing, the more experience you have.
Yes.
Why these politicians need so much advisors? Why them can't cut for them staff, cut for them pay, and use some of them money there for pay the public sector?
All right, you want me respond to you now?
Go on.
You see, if you don't have the advisor them, it'll go cost me more, because guess what? Most of the time the people who are in government don't have a clue about what them have to do, you know. You know that. Hold on.
I agree with your caller.
Just listen to what me I say, no, man. You have some people who run to become a member of parliament, and him become a member of parliament, and him assign him to the cabinet and give him a portfolio. Him probably don't know nothing about farming. But him is the minister of... Hold on. Wait, no, just listen to me, no, man.
Perfect example, Peter Devine.
Hold on, listen to me, no, man. Listen to what me I say now, no. For example, you might have a man become a minister of agriculture where he don't know nothing about agriculture. But him is the minister of agriculture. That man must have a consultant to speak with, you know. Because remember, him don't know nothing about that. Hold on, no, man. Listen to me finish, no, man. Listen to me, man.
All right. One at a time.
I am saying... If that man is the minister of agriculture and him don't know nothing about agriculture, he must have an advisor. Because if him not have no advisor, he go and cost me more.
But can I say something to you, Robert?
That is the first.
But can I say something to you, Robert?
That is the first part of the problem we have.
All right. Can I say something to you, Robert, and the caller? Don't you also believe that, or say, for example, you're going for a job, right? You will not be hired. It's likely and highly probable that you will not be hired for the job if you don't fit the criteria, or if you're going to need an advisor then per se to tell you.
We don't
so my
ask
thing
for
is,
qualifications.
No, but what I'm saying, why not to eliminate some of the unnecessary and ridiculous problems and issues that we're having? Why not employ people who are capable? Who are capable, put them in a position.
But those are the
consultants.
Then give the consultants the job.
This present government.
Yeah, but who vote for them?
Government. Pay millions of dollars
for consultants.
Man, for be them resource consultants. No,
yes.
What is that? You mean couldn't go came and start go look too total?
Yeah, but Carla, you still not see my point, you know? You still not understand
my point.
You cannot take a person who don't know nothing about sports and put them for head IRFM sports department. Kashima can't head that.
Exactly.
No.
So if you employ your friend, if you employ your friend to head the sports department, your friend going to have to get an advisor.
Exactly.
So get the advisor for the minister there.
Agreed.
Because them have do this job for years and them have experience for no say. You can't take a man who grew up town, him a banker, him don't know nothing about the street, him a run a successful bank, and put him in a security position, and every time something go bad, him a call for divine intervention. But yet still, when him want to appease him foreign friend them, implement a human intervention. For instance, the lotto scam. Him never called upon a divine intervention to quash the lotto scam. Him called upon a human intervention. So why when it come on to the average crime where I go against the poor people in Jamaica, why him can't implement a human intervention to deal with that?
At the risk of sounding...
This medium, hold on. This medium, IRFM, one of the health ministers them about the chicken Ganja 2 years before it reached Jamaica.
Yes. Big up Kaboom at
about the people them. All them money where them pay these guys for come talk about Tivoli, Encourage or whatever. You know how much billions of dollars them are going to pay some guy now?
But you know, so it's so like government can't get nothing right then, man. Then what we doing for them?
But them don't get a lot of things right, Echo.
Hold on. Look how much, why is it so much foreign investors coming into Jamaica, buying out these companies for little or nothing that the government says failing? And these
so who them buying it from? Who them buying it from?
The government. The government.
Yes.
Them can't run nothing, them don't care. It's not that they can't run it, them just don't care. Them rather to take a little chumps off of the top and pay a foreign man for run it. And for them run it the right and proper way. You know what I mean? No garbage in our collecting at Jamaica, but look how much millions of dollars them are rub up in the waste management system. What is that? That doesn't make no sense.
I hear your caller, but we have to go to a break. Thanks for your contribution.
Yeah, caller, give thanks for calling. And right. Yeah, sometimes you can't just run around your house, you know what I mean? You have to run your house. Going for a break, soon forward, step in. This, of course, we're sitting in for Mutabaruka.
The text line is burning up, Kishima.
It is burning up.
Are we heading up towards music news?
Right.
Would you please tell me how a man who can barely offer the amount of emotional support one woman needs can have 4 women? Money is not all.
But do you
totally agree with that.
Okay,
totally agree with
good.
that.
I'm so happy that I wouldn't have to fight you on that.
I agree with that, definitely. All right.
Sounds like you're changing your mind, you know.
Thank you. No. Remember, you know, I'm saying I understand the concept. I don't necessarily would love it for me, but I understand the concept. Somebody had text to say that it is not only in Africa that this happens. Robert, Africa is not the only region where polygamy relationships are practiced. There are polygamists in Salt Lake, Utah, USA, among the Mormons. So it is, but I know about it in Africa. So that is why I keep mentioning Africa.
Well, with a minute remaining, Monique Price is standing by, and of course we have music news. So we're gonna return after music news. It's Stepping Razor. We're sitting in for Mutabaruka. Muta is off to Finland for a poetry festival. So yeah, Muta, big up yourself, and when you come back, of course, you can give us a review.
Step in.
All right, just want to say welcome to those of you who are just joining us. I am Kishima Francis.
I'm Robert Williams. Step in.
Yes, we're sitting in for
Mutabaruka.
Mutabaruka, indeed. No, we're taking your telephone calls. The numbers to call are 974-5051, 974-5079, or 974-5043. So we're taking your calls right now. Welcome, caller.
Howdy, Miss Kishima.
Good evening.
Howdy, Master Robert.
Bless up, sir.
Yes, sir. May I go start out 3 other things for you. One, you don't have on the table yet. The both of you need a program for yourself. The one named Double-Edge Razor.
I wish day you put it.
Any day you choose except Thursday.
You have another day?
All right. 1 down, 2 to go.
All right. Now, the polygamy thing, you see? There are some people in India where ladies now have 5 husbands.
Oh, yeah. 5. Yeah, that is you.
Right. These are women. One woman have 5 husbands.
What is
and they live not each of them live in a house by themselves. But they are all in what we would call a tenement yard.
Oh.
Yes. And the one who is with the lady at any time, he would have his walking stick at the door. None of these houses have doors, have a front door. Right?
The walking stick signal that he's there.
He's there. One is in there. Now, all of them can be in there at the same time, providing all of them agree for that. There's time for everybody to be in the house at once. And she can go to anybody's house at any point in time. Now, there are another set of people in South America who they're allowed to marry 4 times in their lifetime. and everybody who you are married to stays with you. And you marry in a scale. So when you are young, at your first marriage, you will marry to a person who will be on their last marriage.
Oh.
And this is for experience purposes. So the old will get to teach the young. And you gain your experience and pass on your experience throughout your lifetime.
This is interesting.
Right. And it can work in Jamaica. Remember, the 12 tribes of Israel is originally 4 women having 12 children for 1 man. Right? And teeth and tongue will always meet. So it's just how we deal with the thing at the end of the day. Now, polygamy is not for everybody.
For sure.
It is for those who can manage it, both financially and emotionally.
And emotionally, because a lot of emotions involved.
Psychologically and mentally.
Psychologically and mentally. So it's like there's a thing in the book of Timothy tells you how to set up the church. And it keeps reference to a leader in the church should be a man with 1 wife.
Oh.
Right. But it also implies that if you do not wish to have a leadership role in the church, you can have more than 1 wife.
Okay.
So you don't want to go no further in the church. You don't want to be a leader. You just want to go to church.
You can have 4 or 5 wives.
Yeah.
But if you choose to be a leader, only 1.
Only 1.
Okay.
Right. Now, we're at the next point now. I can solve the government wage negotiation.
Well, you have to do it without get paid, because we can't manage no more consultant.
No, man, we're not a consultant.
Can't pay no more consultant.
Free advice me I give.
Okay.
And practicable, workable advice. Now, the teachers them get approximate. A young teacher get about $100 and something $1,000. Young 100. And the police them say some of them I get what up to 70 or something like that. Well, for a teacher I can find $40,000 to get a teacher. Additional $40,000. $40,000 that would represent about 40% increase.
Okay.
In some respect, that would be over 60% for your police.
Okay.
And here how it will work. Most police, most teachers, most civil servants on a whole, all civil servants could get this below a certain level. Because you don't want people who can manipulate the system to get it. So, for example, rank and file police. Most of them have a car. That costs $10,500 to license each year. It costs $4,500 for a 2,000cc engine vehicle to be for the fitness to be done every 14 months. And you could now implement that. Give them that money, or when they come and license their
do it for free.
Vehicle. Yes.
So that is
for free. No.
But that is 12,000.
They pay to license that vehicle. You understand me?
But that will be 12,000.
That's $12,000. Right. Then there is GCT that they pay on their goods every year. That's about 16.5% of whatever they're going to spend.
Right.
You understand? So what they would need to do at the end of the year, they would file their tax return to get their GCT money. Then now most again would own a property. I live in Duane Park, and the land tax in Duane Park is $8,500. So those who own a house would have that money. When you go, you just go to the tax office, pay your money, and you get your receipt saying you have turned up to pay your taxes, and we stamp the paper and give you back. Now, for those who don't have the house and the car, you now will need to assist in stimulating the economy. You will have 2 years to put plans in place to acquire a house. That is when you're going to get that money. If you don't have no house, then the money stays in escrow for you. It stays in escrow for you. So you have, and that would amount that. So $10,500 for the car license, $8,500 for the land tax, $4,500 for the fitness fee, and 16.5%. And the 16.5% will be dependent on how much you spend out of your money.
So 10,500, 4,500.
8,500.
8,500.
16.5% out of $100,000. $16,500. That's $40,000.
Okay.
And bear in mind, we would do it similar. You say where government would find this money.
Right.
We do it similar to government motor vehicles are not licensed or insured. Government, the Attorney General takes on that liability.
Okay, but at the same time, though, finish your point first.
So therefore, you don't have to dig in your purse for it, and you don't need to find it one time.
Right.
Because everybody don't need to come and
license the car one time.
One time. Nor what you do now, you implement the filing of your tax returns. So every civil servant would have to file their tax return, and after verification, you get the 16.5% money.
You need to talk to Mr. Daly,
Yeah, caller, your fix for the government sounds good, but I mean, with your polygamy information that you provided, I'm not feeling you, but yeah.
Miss Kishima, bear in mind now.
I'm not fighting it, I'm just not with it.
No, bear in mind, I know you're not with it, but bear in mind, most Jamaican are in polygamous relationships. Currently.
But I don't agree with you. But because if a man have more than one woman, I don't regard that as polygamic.
Is this knowing or unknowingly?
Yeah, but I
know about it,
what I regard as
most times,
what I regard as polygamy, caller, is when it is an official situation.
Yes, so unofficially,
I don't call it polygamy. I call it man of girl in a bungle.
No, but unofficially that's what it is. Call it any polygamy by any other name. It's still polygamy.
Okay. One thing before you go though, with regards to the advice to the government, one thing that you'd have to do now is you'd have to work out and tell us how much the government would be giving up now when we do this. But this sounds like a better solution to me.
Well, I can get back to you on it and tell you how much they will be giving up.
Okay. Thanks for the call, sir.
No problem, man.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he basically worked that out.
I wonder if government sit down and work it out like how this gentleman is working it out. Because
we are in here taking notes and doing the math as he's speaking.
Because I'm saying can see if government can provide
additional $40,000.
All right, let's take another one.
Stepping. All right, let's take this one. Hello, welcome to Stepping Razor.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Turn off your radio.
I have no radio on, man. You know how long me I wait?
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Welcome.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Man, hey, you think me not listen to you?
Who?
Go ahead, man.
May I listen to the young, what's the name of the young man again?
Kishima and Robert Williams here.
I listen to Kishima, and may I listen to Robert. But Robert, listen to me. You have to wise up in my youth. Because, well, me a kind of Kishima is a woman of great wisdom. You understand? Sometimes the men, they will talk too fast. Hello?
Yes, that is true.
So me I start off with, me not like when the government not take care of police officers.
Me not like when they not take care of nobody at all.
Me not like it. And it's disrespectful, and we police don't need to be taking bribe or taking anything from anybody or be licky because they not get paid.
True.
Excuse me?
True.
Okay?
They should be well paid.
No, absolutely.
And the next thing, our teachers, did you know that when the Chinese government was about to make their economy the fastest growing economy in the world, they did not give their kids weed.
They did not give their kids weed?
No, they did not give their children weed. They did not say, boy, you can't smoke a spliff. They give them brains power so that they can make the iPad and the telephone we are use right now.
Okay.
Hello?
They're hearing you, caller.
I believe that Mark is irresponsible and disrespectful to the Jamaican society, talking about you can't smoke a spliff. The other day me going to the market, people that blow weed for me. Everybody want weed, touch them. And then me going to a man shop, he must sell weed in a shop. So nobody who really know how we blow up on them now go in that shop.
Okay.
China man shop, you know, see my smoke no weed in there. You understand? And while the Chinaman is buying up the land, our youths rubbing their hand and smoking.
Rubbing and nigga.
Excuse me?
Not no make no sense.
We need to talk big time about it. Let me write a song. It's go like this. Stop.
Caller?
Stop smoke the weed and learn to read.
No. No.
Stop smoking the weed and learn to read.
All right, caller.
My mouth is not to smoke ganja. My mouth is not to smoke cigarettes and black up my teeth. My mouth is to kiss my wife.
All right, caller. Hold on 1 second. What we're gonna do, caller, I want you to send me a copy of your CD and your bio and your contact information. We have an office in Kingston at 1B Derrimore Road, so you can drop it off there if it is closer to where you're living, or you can drop it off at Otres. I'll prefer a hard copy.
A man me a call from, and a long time I want call.
Well, see that you call now, you call at the right time. So just send the information to us.
Even for the past couple of years, let me tell you, my wise lady, I'm gonna call you wise woman.
Yes, I like it. Go ahead, caller.
And wise man. Listen to me, man. Me I try go on CVM for the past 3 years.
No, we can help you with that, you know.
Yes, that's all.
Help me.
We can help you with that.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll help you to get an highway.
Thank you so much for calling. We have 5 minutes before the cash pot draw, and we want to squeeze in at least a few more calls. But thank you so much for your contribution, and let's take this one. Step in.
Caller, go ahead. Hello? Caller, go ahead. In the meantime, Adrian from Kingston says Jamaican can gradually accept polygamy as they accept fashion. It's about compromising and tolerance. Government must govern in such a way so that private sector become the largest employer of its people and not government. But I'm advising you to put your names to the text so that we can say exactly who is sending the text.
I have this piece of information just in. Doctors are worried about falling ill too in an environment where so many of our fellow civil servants are unwell. The members of the Medical Doctors Association stand in solidarity with them and hope that a cure can be found quickly to remedy their illness. The doctors are also concerned as to whether the illness now being suffered by the police officers is contagious. This is serious.
See, you're getting
Caller,
serious.
stepping.
Yeah, great.
Welcome.
Yeah, man, great thing. Very for 2 hours the fourth. Yes, they call it before I want to the solution to the I think if she was to put it officially in writing.
Yes.
And put a copy in all of the on all of the newspaper them. One to the Attorney General, one to Phillips and Dali.
Yeah, because it's on workable, you know.
It's on logical.
Yes, yeah, man.
You read a serious point, you know. When say none of government vehicle no license, sure. And it sounds logical to me. It don't need to examine some more and see, but it look like it can work. To some extent, it look like it can work.
Yes. On the surface of it, it look that way.
Put it official and then examine it and see if it can work.
You can imagine, caller, if everybody was able to come with a solution like this. Yeah, because even if ultimately it can't work, you get some ideas.
At least
from it.
there are options.
Some ideas and options and ideas. And the option, everything is of who want the option.
And not only that, but when you're given an option, you can look at it to see how you can tweak it, how you can manipulate it to make it work for the system that you have. So give thanks for your contribution as well.
Yeah, man.
Are we going to take one more before we go to the cash pot draw? Let's read a few more texts. Also, you realize you could taxes up or borrowing government debt to keeping up with the Joneses. Let's say you borrowed and now only one man will lend you. What do you do? I find that some of the texts come through, but it's only a part of it, so we're not getting the full.
They're extremely lengthy. I think persons are just venting. And it's taking a while. Now with almost a minute to go before Cashpot, just want to do the intro. So listen up. Top draw, dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, Cashpot drive time draws up next.
Children, Dr. Alfred is going to teach us about strong, healthy teeth.
Colgate contains liquid calcium and fluoride that gets between teeth, giving you maximum cavity protection for strong, healthy teeth. Colgate, #1 brand recommended by dentists.
The time by Colgate is
Spot Draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Tune in later at 8:25 for another chance to win in Top Draw. Dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, lucky 5, and the Cashpot draws.
Now, before Cashpot, Robert, I read a piece of information that we're just getting from the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association. Now, doctors worried about falling ill too, right? Now, so in an environment where so many of our fellow civil servants are unwell, the members of the Medical Doctors Association stand in solidarity with them and hope that a cure can be found quickly to remedy their illness. The doctors are also concerned as to whether illness now being suffered by the police officers is contagious. President of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, Dr. Alfred Dawes, noted, and I quote, "As doctors, we cannot be comfortable with so many of our colleagues falling ill. It seems the current conditions are causing illnesses to affect them, and we hope that there can be a remedy to these ailments soon."
Doctor, go find a remedy.
The president added that the JMDA is in full support of the civil servants and stand ready to assist in their capacity as doctors if this illness continues. Doctors are not immune, and anything that affects our colleagues in the public sector might soon begin affecting doctors too. Goes on to say, "We hope this situation does not occur as the country cannot afford doctors falling ill."
For sure. Well, let us hope that the teachers are making some headway.
Yes.
So let us hope that when they sit down with the negotiating team, they can make some headway too. Let us hear what our callers have to say though, because we have a number of people holding. Caller, good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine, thank you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing
you.
Okay, perfect. How are you doing, Kishima and Robert?
We're doing
good.
Wonderful. I just want to agree with the caller, I think 2 calls ago, who said that you guys should deserve to have your own show.
And which day?
I don't know.
Oh.
You guys
have to just go with the Irish jingle. You have a next day.
But you should call your show Fire and Ice, because I'm going to agree with some other callers and say that Kishima, I have to big you up a little bit more because you're a strong black woman.
Oh wow, so you didn't know that all along? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I agree with you, caller.
Okay, thank you. Because you know what?
I know her to be a strong black woman.
She is stepping on razors, but you are walking on, hoping to walk on water.
No, oh Lord.
I love this caller.
I'm hearing you.
I'm so bad. It's okay. You guys
walking on water.
Yes, you guys are a good team, though. But tell me something, is man Robert? Okay. Was Dudas a superhero?
A superhero?
Yeah.
You mean like
No, I don't think so.
Like Batman or Superman?
No, I don't think so.
No, not.
He wasn't a villain superhero that was causing all the crime in Jamaica?
No, sir. I don't think so.
No, he's not.
But I get that impression.
I've been listening to the Tivoli inquiry, and getting the impression
that he was like Superman or Batman,
like more like a villain. You know, one of those bad superheroes.
Or you mean Robin Hood?
That too, but in a superhero kind of way, in that all the crime in Jamaica, all over Jamaica, in Montego Bay, everywhere, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, everywhere he was. I know that he's gone, he's put away. I think all the crime has stopped in Jamaica, right?
No, I think that was an exaggeration, though.
But we're hearing it constantly every day. And you know how I feel about it, Kishima? I feel that the people should be having a massive protest right now in all the town centers across Jamaica, asking the police to tell the truth. You said something, Kishima, about, you said a phrase that I really like, about it's time to stop running around the house and start running the house. Right? And I think that the problem that we're having in Jamaica now, where our economy and the entire system is just falling apart, it's not because of bad people, but it's because of the good people who sit silently and waiting for those people to do the right thing. So basically what I'm saying is that the blame is twofold, not only on our politicians, but on us, the people who sit by, instead of calling a spade, asking them to be accountable for what they're doing and demanding that they do the right thing, not tomorrow, but now. We sit by hoping. Let's wait and see. They have a history of doing the wrong thing over and over and over, but we sit by hoping. Let's wait and see. They're going to miraculously do something good, and it's not happening.
Not happening.
You know what I mean? I hear...
I don't think we still have miracles happening, though.
Pardon?
I don't think we have miracles happening still.
But I think we still do, but...
Although you think I'm going to walk on water.
You're probably hoping, but but you're not the Christ. But I hear I think the security minister, for example, and some other politician, the commissioner and those people, from time to time over the years, I hear them come on the media and they're saying they're taking credit for the reduction in crime. No, I don't think that they should take credit for the reduction in crime. What they should blame? No, I don't think that they should take credit for the reduction in crime. What they should be taking credit for is how many crimes they have solved.
But is there a reduction in crime?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you see, what happens, Carl, is that sometimes people use statistics to their suit.
To manipulate.
Yeah, they manipulate the statistics to get the end result that they want.
And there's no real reduction in crime. What we really need, what the people really need, is for them to solve. We want to hear that they solved 95% of the crime.
Or we want to hear that they prevented it.
Well, if they solve it, then those criminals are going to be off the street.
Yeah, but if they prevented it, then none will happen.
I think too, like sometimes if we think of and consider solutions as opposed to at times just highlighting the problem, but just to look at ways in which we can fix it, we would have solved a lot of issues. And then also, like, a lot of persons are not being true to themselves. Like one caller had identified that persons are working in a capacity that they're not fit because it is not their area of expertise. So you find that they're troubleshooting in that area when reality is just be true to yourself. You're operating in a capacity that is up over your head. It's not your area. So you know,
I agree. And the thing about the what do you call them? The people who assist them,
the consultants.
The consultants. Nothing is wrong with having consultants, you know.
But you have to pay them.
Need to have the leader is supposed to be implementing.
Yeah, but the more consultant you need, the more you have to find to pay them.
But if it is your area of expertise and you have a consultant in similar field, then you can get tremendous results because you would already have that know-how to deal with it, and you're bouncing off of somebody who knows as well. So then you find that you're going to get the best results. But when you don't know and somebody else is telling
when you know nothing,
exactly,
nothing at all,
you're just going to troubleshoot to say, okay, sprinkle that on soil and yeah.
Thank you very much for your perspective, though, Carla.
One thing that I need to leave with, though, is what I'm hoping to emphasize here is accountability. Nobody is accountable because the leaders are saying, okay, they're taking credit for something that they're not responsible for. And in effect, they're not doing anything. So we need, if we get everybody to be accountable, then half our problem would be solved.
Point well made. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Same to you.
Step in as we continue with the callers.
But that was a solid point, you know, made by the young lady right there.
Because as she mentioned, Kishima, they use the statistics. Let us say, 5 people died rather than 6 in the comparable period. But at the same time, so many other things went up. And when you average it, it is up, but they choose to single that out and say it is down. Just to manipulate
and it is something
the statistics.
because they want to be lauded. But
Caller, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Welcome.
Yes, Robert Kashima.
Hi.
This is Delroy.
Hi,
Money
Delroy.
changer. Yes, I always wondered, I never hear anybody in Jamaica talking about the schoolgirls from the college in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boko Haram.
Boko Haram.
I've heard people talk about it.
That's true.
Yes,
Especially
I never really hear it come publicly and all them things.
This is a matter that has also been discussed on this very same platform, Cutting Edge Running African, on the 107s, yeah?
Yeah, so I do a poem, I write a poem on Facebook and things in which I talk about Boko Haram. I talk about the government to be fired and all them things. Yeah. And I want really to endorse it in Jamaica because on the internet it is, me getting a whole heap of support and a whole heap of things are going.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yes, I want, what I did really want to do, I want to have a stat card put up at this before CVM to get this thing out, because we're supposed to realize and look on it and say that's how we
all right, caller, you're having a terrible fight with the wind. So if you can call us back and move away from your current position, that would really work. All right, so I think we have a break. Soon come back. You're listening to The Stepping Razor. Mutabaruka. I'm Kishima Francis.
I'm Robert Williams.
Mutabaruka is off to Finland for a poetry festival, and he's not on sick out. He will return.
He's not sick like the policemen are. I know we understand the doctors.
Yes. It's likely that this illness that's going around. It's highly probably it may be contagious.
Hello.
What's happening there?
So we're taking your calls. So we were taking some telephone calls before. So step through caller.
Caller, good evening.
Right, good evening, Robert.
Welcome.
Hi.
Step a little away from the fan.
I'm not under the fan or anything, because it's just
it's very windy.
I'm going to turn up the fan. Maybe it's the AC.
It's the air condition, the powerful man.
You're staying too close to it. I don't think that's healthy. Can't afford for you to be sick too.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you here better now, right?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
The first thing I must say, you two guys on the cutting edge filling in for the great Muta.
No, it's a stepping razor.
Yeah, the stepping razor. It is good. It's fresh, it's different, but it does sound good. It's as if, we know Muta, but it is good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Robbie, I know you're getting a lot of lick in respect to Kashima, but she's strong.
Yeah, man.
Strong woman.
That's why they choose her to work with me, Can't put no weakling with me,
Okay. I understand.
I cannot manage.
I am just calling on behalf in respect to what the caller previously, one of the callers who spoke about the GCT and all of those.
Yes.
His point is not bad, but there's a flaw in it. The thing is this now is that you would not be getting any new money based upon what he's saying. You'll be getting back the money that you spent.
Right.
So you would not be getting any money from the government. Is that you would have to dig in.
You'll be saving $40,000 really.
Really and truly, you'll be just the money that you spend, you'll be collecting it back another. So you would not be getting any new money. Now there's a problem in respect to the GCT. The man that lives, the single man, he buys less food and less stuff. Percentage of the GCT or what he's gonna get back would have been less than the family who spends more.
Okay.
So there's another way that the government could have easily go about and do it. in respect to civil servants. Civil servants pay 33.3%. That's 1/3 of in respect to income tax. Now, what the government could have done is institute a flat rate, and instead of the civil servants pay 33.1/3%, they pay like they are at 15%. They now would have saved back a lot of that money in their pocket. Money that you wouldn't have spent it any year. It is coming out of your salary. So instead of it coming out of your salary, you say, okay, pay 15% on income tax instead of the 30%.
So you'd have that 15% in your pocket?
So you'd still have 15% or say 17% in your pocket.
Yes, 17.
They would have saved a lot of money in that. You wouldn't have to find it anywhere. It's just that you'd have to get less. You would be getting less from the civil servants. And you can find maybe you would have to tax somebody else also, but the civil servants on a whole, because it's really and truly, I'm a civil servant, and it's really the income that really mash up, because you pay a third to the government. You get it, but you have to give it up.
And then, so how would government make up for that shortfall in the budget now? They would have to tax somebody else.
And I agree with the next caller who said, well, persons who know about the business, or they should know employ persons, or they would have persons who want to come in government will say, I have a degree in agriculture, I have a degree in cooking, and you place a person, so they now will be paid to come up with that creative ways of how to get tax or to get that shortfall from the other sources.
But that sounds like you're going to pay some more people again.
Next.
No, the thing is this, is that the middle income earners are the persons who pay tax in the country. So you have to tax the rich one, and so they have the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of them something there. Tax them.
Yes.
Tax them instead of taxing.
And along with that, the persons, the over 50% are the persons who are not paying tax. You bring them in.
Yeah, you bring them in, because when all right. When you pay tax in Jamaica, it's like a slap on the wrist.
Man, you're all right, man. Nothing wrong. Them just take away your bends and then you make the news and then everything all right.
And then they would have to regulate the companies like, the big companies who sponsor a little corner league around here, but they write the tax return to like billions or millions.
Yes. Well, you know what go on, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to them and say, listen now, I am going to sponsor some kids that kick ball. Let's do it quick, because guess what now? The tax right off.
Right.
And then now, the persons who coming in come to business, like our friends who coming from the Asian continent.
Yes.
They now
get for free.
Have to set up a thing, because guess what now? They come here. They reap a lot of our money. They don't pay tax because they don't bank. They just do straight cash. And the money flies out in the morning.
Just come in and out.
Exactly.
Why? I like your vibe, Solutions.
It works, and it also boils back to what we have been saying from the get-go on the show. When you have persons in a capacity where them don't have the know-how,
they can't be as efficient as they should be.
Exactly, and there is always going to be loopholes, and which is why situations like that can happen, because if somebody comes into the country, they're leaving with X amount of money, no taxation, but then at the same time, to fix the problem, then you're gonna dump all the burden on poor people. Exactly. So
because that's what I'm now. The consultant, he's not gonna do anything to lose his job.
No, not at all. Lose his job, more or less ruffle feathers.
My solution to that, though, is that the person who is a consultant should be the person who is the minister. But remember, you have to go vote for them. For them can be the minister.
All these things are the body system.
Yeah, the body system. And that is the problem.
A permanent school with the Old Boys Association.
Exactly.
My friend who knows nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Knows nothing. Anyway, that's my little thing to the
yeah, man, it's a big thing you
contribute, for your contribution.
Thanks again.
All right.
29 minutes after 5. We still have more callers. Let's take some more. Okay. Let's go back to the text line.
Social media, right?
What's happening there?
Well, I am currently going over to Twitter. My device is moving in. All right, so I'm there. So, a lot of persons.
Shima, tell these men that you were made for a leader. Leaders are made to have one wife. That is going back to the caller.
Oh, okay. Well, They're coming around. We have Selector Princess here saying stop the inquiry and pay teachers and victims and community of West Kingston. So persons weighing in on social media on the discussion, a lot of persons retweeting the information coming out. You have One Nation Down loving it. You have Real Bonganaya locked in on social media. A lot of people know on social media. Persons are saying on the text line, Echo.
Yeah, they're saying that the government should have outlined its priorities under the current situation of fiscal handicap. Can't borrow to please everyone, including fellow M. But people are responding on the text line, sharing their views.
And the polygamy situation, it is hitting a lot of persons. Persons are getting emotional, persons are giving their input on it, and that supporting a family means so much more.
One person is saying here that polygamy wouldn't work if introduced to Jamaicans, so no, I as a man would not consider it. I don't think it would work in Jamaica.
No, the reality is it would.
We're not wired for that.
No, and not only that we're not wired for it, but just think about the situation. Even though you have places that are doing it, and then you hear people coming out doing surveys and treating people in the situation like lab rats to say that this is something that is workable. The truth is there has to be some sort of emotional, mental scars where people are going through.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome. Hello?
Afternoon, sir.
How are you, sir?
Hello.
Yes. This is a letter to you, Buka Haram. Buka Haram. We need your head like now. And no longer shall we stand and watch. Our body goes up in pieces. We have heard the cry of the people. Buka Haram. We need your head like now. You are a destruction to the human race. You raped, you killed, you sold us. This is how we end up into the Caribbean. Buka Haram. We need your head like now. That is the poem, sir.
Bless up, sir. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for your contribution.
Yes, check on Delroy Beckford.
All right,
and
sir.
Google, and you will see it.
All right, so that's Delroy Beckford. Just check him out on social media.
Bertrand from Westmoreland is asking how much percent the government have in the hotel them down here. What are they doing with all that money? All right, question for the government.
No, yes. No, earlier, of course, Echo, Robert, why am I calling you your name publicly? No, we mentioned that it's highly probable that the more Jamaican doctors might not be feeling well. And joining us on the telephone line, we have Dr. Alfred Dawes, and he's president of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association. Dr. Dawes, welcome to the Stepping Razor.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. Now, what's the situation? Because we cannot afford our doctors falling ill.
No, we can't.
No.
Doctors are falling ill in the past, and it has not been good for anybody at all.
So are they planning to fall ill now?
No such thought. But we are concerned that, other members of the public sector are catching something, and given the conditions that are currently out there now, we are concerned. Some members are reporting sniffles, but they're working through it.
So you're being proactive to prevent the doctors from getting ill, huh?
Well, we are. We have to start our negotiations. The problem is that we were invited to meetings in February for the clarification of our wage claim, and we have not heard back from the Ministry of Finance since.
Oh, up to now?
February?
Exactly, you see my point.
Wow, yeah.
So,
no wonder there are sniffles.
Right. So, and that always thing is rather, it's particular. It's peculiar this time because, the government wants to change the way in which doctors work and the hours and so on. At the same time, when we are so heavily dependent on overtime, we are looking to change the way in which we are compensated. so you don't have a situation where you have mass resignations and persons leaving and collapse of the healthcare sector. So we've been proactive and put all of these things in our wage claim.
And you have submitted those claims already?
Long time.
Do you foresee with what is happening now, despite the fact that you initially from February of this year, do you foresee like going to the table anytime soon to start negotiations?
Well, we heard that was supposed to have been last week or this week. We still have not heard anything as yet, and you know, it's really sad though, because you're looking at other unions getting their second offer, and we have not gotten our first offer or anything at all to say that, all right, let us go down this path to discuss these things. And we have outstanding issues from 2 previous wage claims. I mean, from last year when I was looking at the wage claim, the 2012 wage claim, we could have just changed the date and resubmitted it because nothing was granted.
Do you foresee that the seriousness of the sniffles may worsen depending on the time frame in which they call you to the fore?
Well, it's not just the doctors I'm concerned about. I mean, the other public sector workers, they are at risk as well, because I mean the current environment is not a healthy one.
What is the high point of your claim, though, Dr. Dawes?
Well, we have 2 options. One is to either increase our basic salary so that we're not dependent on overtime, or to give us a flat rate, which is similar in other jurisdictions where doctors are working. Because this overtime thing is not really overtime. The doctors are expected to work additional hours beyond the 40-hour work week. In some instances, it's 80 hours for the week. Some doctors are working over 100, some may work less. But it's not to say that you're claiming for overtime. It's just that because of the structure of how they lump our basic salary with everybody else's, there's very little room for improvement on the basic salaries. All the negotiations over the previous years have been focused on improving the quote-unquote overtime pay, and we want to address that anomaly now and roll it into a more reasonable salary. That's the IMF won't look at it and say this is the overtime bill, and it's pensionable.
What about the working conditions, that aspect of the claim? What is it? What is the high point of that?
Well, we have been lobbying for improved working conditions for quite some time now, and that has been one of the mandates of my administration since we came in from August last year, and that's what we've been making up most of the noise about. It's just now that we're really taking on a union role. But we need to see better supplies in the hospitals. We want to make sure that persons when they come in, they get their surgeries, they're attended to by a physician in a clean environment, a healthy environment, a safe environment, and they won't be frustrated and take out the frustrations on the doctors. And at the same time, you have to treat your staff well, not just doctors, the porters, the X-ray techs, the lab techs, the nurses, everybody, because that is why everybody's leaving, and your best and brightest are going to continue to leave until they start treating people well. And it's not just about money; it's about the working conditions. And
it's
as simple as that.
It is interesting and ironic that the health sector has to lobby for a clean environment.
Ironic.
It's madness.
Did the government issue any timetable following that? Your claim in February, was there a timetable put out for negotiations?
No, it's more like don't call us, we'll call you.
Wow. Sniffles sound serious.
Yeah, so but where we are concerned, and understandably so. It's been dragging out, and you're seeing other things taking place around you.
Yes.
And absolutely nothing on our front.
Well, I guess pretty soon, or preferably sooner than later, you'll be called to the bargaining table.
I hope so.
I really hope, though, that the sniffles don't get any serious, because I cannot imagine what will happen to patients.
Well, I mean, we'd never leave emergency duty, even if we're sick. We still show up for work. You have to cover emergency services.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Dawes. We look forward to the government calling into the negotiating table.
Will not worsen.
You'll be called before. You'll be called before.
You guys take your vitamin C and advise the police and teachers and nurses.
We will.
We shall do that. Thank you very much, Dr. Alfred Dawes,
President of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association. It's a serious situation, man.
I mean, from February and nothing, no.
Yeah. And then kind of like, don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, and then some people going, negotiating, rejecting, and then going back. And still doctors have not been called.
We have a break.
Build your health and vitality with Bico Zinc, the powerful combination of B-complex vitamin C fortified with zinc. Available in capsules and syrup form. Bico Zinc, the power booster that's good for you. Ask your pharmacist today. The time by Bico Zinc is
5:40.
Stepping razor.
Right. What? Only 5 minutes
Heading
remaining?
into the final 5 minutes of the program. Robert Williams and Kishima Francis here, sitting for Mutabaruka.
And of course, we have to big up Shane Clark. Shane, I call Shane my walking encyclopedia. And, in everything musical, I consult Shane and he gives us good music over and over. So Shane Clark, big up yourself as usual. Also want to say big up to Monique Price and Samantha Mitu and Kabu Mat Keru. Everybody who contributed to the process.
All right, that little man that talk about weed, him think the way how black people live, as so them was supposed to live. A capture who capture people.